Parade. It's a time-honored tradition. Visit us at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winter.
Greetings, friends of Eastern North Carolina. If you're looking for a great place to work with competitive pay and a multitude of advancement opportunities, Pitt County Schools is hiring. We employ over 3,500 people, and we're one of the largest employers in Pitt County. We are currently seeking teachers, bus drivers, school nutrition personnel, facility staff, custodians, clerical staff, and more. We offer advanced leadership opportunities for our educators and competitive pay for our skilled labor force. If you want to be part of a thriving school system that focuses on educating students, growing our employees, and promoting positive mental and physical health initiatives, we encourage you to become a part of our Pitt County Schools family to help ensure success for the future of Eastern North Carolina. To fill out an application, visit our website today at pittschools.org. That's pittschools.org. And remember, education is truly a team effort. Pitt County Schools. Live and lead.
With US Cellular, it's just $19.99 per line for 1, 2, or 3 lines. So you don't need that robot daughter you built to get a 4th line for family plan pricing.
Oh, Rope Elizabeth? She's not gonna like that.
The robots will prevail.
Oh boy.
Get the low rate of $19.99 per line. US Cellular, built for us. Terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
Get 1, 2, or 3 lines for $19.99 per line right now at Atlantic Wireless, your US Cellular authorized agent in Bellhaven, Snow Hill, and 3 locations in Greenville.
Attention athletes and fans. Tiebreakers is looking for all-stars. Do you know an athlete who made a game-winning play, scored an amazing touchdown, or hit a huge home run? We're scouting Eastern North Carolina for this month's most outstanding athlete. Go to tiebreakersathlete.com to nominate your favorite player for the prestigious Athlete of the Month award. Tiebreakers, shining a light on the athletes that make Eastern North Carolina proud. Submit your nomination now at tiebreakersathlete.com.
Hey Pirate fans, did you know there are thousands of special needs children and adults right here in our community that loves ECU athletics as much as you do? Robbie's Clubhouse is a local nonprofit organization that can turn your unused ECU tickets into a fun day for a family with special needs. If you can't make it to the next Pirate game, simply call 1-800-DIAL-ECU and donate and designate your tickets for Robbie's Clubhouse. Go Pirates!
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the pirate nation. Get low, get low. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, are you ready? Know when the whistle go.
It's hard to measure a man's heart. And when you have a team that's hungry and got something to prove, they can go out there and they'll close some guys' eyes and they'll be like, dang, we did not see this coming. The one thing that you can't ever count on is a man's will.
These are collisions, man. We're not playing patty cake. Once you just leave all your emotions and all that other stuff at the door, man, just go out there and have fun. You'll have a good day.
He did it! He did it! 54-yard field goal! You can paint this with purple! My goodness! Who we do it for? 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 ECU!
Pirate fans, get ready. It's time to talk ECU football on the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate Show. The Pirate Radio sports team will get you ready with a game-winning strategy, live reports from the stadium, a breakdown of all the X's and O's, and all the scores and previews from other games around the country. Let's get ready. It's time for Pirate football on the voice of the Pirate Nation. The Bud Light Pregame Tailgate is on the air.
Welcome in to the Week 2 edition of the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. Clip Rock here with you inside the Pirate Radio studios, and we'll be here for the next 4 hours taking you up to kickoff. East Carolina and Marshall, the home opener for the Pirates in 2023. ECU looking for their first win. Marshall looking to get to 2-0. And coming up on the next 4 hours on the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate, we'll go out live to Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium, have a tailgate check-in or two with Ellerby. We'll hear from the play-by-play voice of the Marshall Thundering Herd, Steve Cotton. Former ECU wide receiver Jason Nichols will join us in the Pirate Radio studios. We'll talk to Patrick Mason from the Daily Reflector, get his thoughts on the game. We'll get the keys to the game with Billy Weaver, one of my co-hosts on the U.S. Cellular fifth quarter call-in show. We'll hear from ECU offensive coordinator Donnie Kirkpatrick, defensive coordinator Blake Harrell, also some Pirate players, including Pirate running back Marlon Gunn. Marcus Crandall will join us in the Pirate Radio studios in hour 2 and 3. We'll break down the slate of games today from a gambling perspective with the big man on campus, Jeff Nadeau. Brian North from WCTI 12 will join us as well. And we want to hear from you. Check us out on Facebook and YouTube. Be a part of the show on this Week 2 edition of the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. Honored to have Brian Bailey right here in studio.
Right here. Game day, baby.
Yes,
here we
sir.
go.
Fired up, ready to go. We'll talk to BB. When we return, we got Shirley, we got Joey, the big dog, Glenn Griffin, Ellerby, Chandler, Jenny out at the Pirate Radio tailgate zone. Big day, and we're covering it all right here on Pirate Radio. We'll pop the top on the Week 2 edition of the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate next.
Long. Wow.
Bud Light was brewed to be delicious and easy to drink beer, even when little things in life are hard. Like when the game is going into overtime, but you have even more time to enjoy it in a fresh Bud Light. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local retailer today. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Rick House is Eastern North Carolina's premier American-styled restaurant and bar, and there's always something special happening at the Rick House. Join us for lunch. It's our 2 for $20 lunch special during the week, and it's the perfect spot for that lunch business meeting. The Rick House celebrates the last Thursday of every month with a special wine tasting, and our buffet brunch is to die for. Follow the Rick House on Facebook for the latest schedule. The Rick House, American Provisions and Spirits, 710 Red Banks Road beside the bowling alley in Greenville. The Rick House.
In football, it takes great offense, defense, and special teams to make the perfect team. With New Blue, it takes great service in plumbing, electrical, and HVAC to make a perfect team. This is Aaron Williams with Ease Plumbing, and we have teamed up with Viva Electric and Roland Black Heating and Cooling to form New Blue Service Group. Same great local team, same great local service. Let us help you tackle any issues you may have. Just go to callnewblue.com. That's callnublue.com. New Blue Service Group, where we are redefining service excellence. Go Pirates.
North Carolina State Parks invites you to enjoy camping your way. With the weather changing, booking your own cabin is the perfect solution for your camping getaway. Reserve campsites or cabins today at Jones Lake, Goose Creek, and Cliffs of the Neuse. Whether you enjoy traditional camping or air-conditioned cabins that can be rented with Wi-Fi, your next adventure can include hiking, beautiful scenery, and sunsets by the campfire. For information on booking a cabin, visit ncparks.gov.
This is John Gavigan with the Gavigan Agency. Our top priority is doing what is best for our members. Whether you are buying a new vehicle, a new home, protecting your family with life insurance, or filing a claim, our agency will be there every step of the way. Our goal is to become a trusted advisor for you and your family for all of your personal and commercial insurance needs. Give us a call in Greenville at 756-1400 for a car, home, business, or life insurance quote today, and give us the opportunity to show you the benefits of doing business with someone who cares.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Good news, business travelers. PGV is adding a new early morning flight starting in September. Book today at AA.com and be on time for that connection in Charlotte. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has American flights perfect for your next trip. And now a new early morning flight. PGV, where the Pirates fly.
The brunch is back. The famous brunch buffet at Fifth Street Hardware has a variety of breakfast and lunch items from 10:30 to 2, including an omelet station and prime rib, and a special Sunday cocktail menu, including mimosa flights. Don't forget, Fifth Street Hardware has lunch specials every day, along with over 40 beers on tap. Trivia Wednesday, live music every Thursday night, and a late night menu through the weekend. Visit FifthStreetHardware.com or give them a follow on Facebook and Instagram for a weekly lineup and more. Go Pirates!
Pirate Radio.
You know, I think this is a pretty blue-collar, tough, hard-nosed fan base, and that's where our teams are going to be.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate on Pirate Radio. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Hey, for the latest breaking news, interesting stories, and awesome contests that can make you a winner, be sure to follow Pirate Radio on our social media all throughout the day, even during the game, as we will have all the latest for you. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at PR927FM. You can join the well over 66,000 followers today. Now let's head back in to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
All right, happy to be with you on this Saturday. East Carolina and Marshall. They have played some classics in the past, and the line says they're going to play another classic today, 4 o'clock at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium. Clip Brock, Shirley Rhodes, Joey, Big Dog Glenn Griffin, BB, Brian Bailey hanging out in studio, and we have Ellerby on the phone. And as we go to Ellerby for the out of the tailgate zone, I'll tell you that our tailgate is going awesome thanks to Warren's Hot Dogs. Dropped off hot dogs, pizza, subs, and the turnover, Shirley.
Yep, I've already down one, so you're minus one turnover already.
Apple or peach?
You're down two.
Wait, which one did you get, Bailey?
2 turnovers in 8 minutes.
I don't know. I just took whatever was there.
Okay, because we have peach and we have apple.
Yeah.
I took an apple.
I think I had a peach.
Okay, so we're down 2 turnovers.
Yeah.
I've already killed 2 hot dogs, and I'm working on a slice of pizza right now.
Let's hope the Pirates don't have that many turnovers early.
Yeah, really. We got to force some turnovers today thanks to Warren's Hot Dogs for the awesome pregame spread. Awesome football food all season long. Ellerby joins us out of the Pirate Radio Tailgate Zone. Ellerby, what's up?
A lot of things up. We just got turnovers, too. So we're about to dig in. Thanks to Warren's Hot Dogs. Thanks to all our great sponsors, Carolina Eagle, Bud Light, R&D Brewing. Got a lot of cold beverages in the coolers. Thanks to our friends at Pepsi as well. And it's a beautiful day. It's been a slow arriving crowd, but it's really starting to pick up as, we're on the air, getting ready for ECU Marshall. And I think fans are starting to get out here, and you're seeing it really, really pick up. So excited to tailgate, excited that the rainstorms on the radar are all around us. So looks like we're going to be okay for a while out here and have a fun time.
Yeah, people eyeballing the weather, right, and it looks like later might get some precip, but as of right now, looks like some good tailgating weather out there. And Ellerby, huge game for East Carolina, coming in 0-1 after the loss to Michigan. We followed the spread all week. I think I looked last night; it was at 2.5, Marshall. So some money coming in on East Carolina. And look, these two teams have played tight games, overtime games in the past, and I'm expecting another tight one today.
Yeah, I'm expecting to go all 4 quarters, so hopefully everybody will be in their seats throughout the whole game. And I'm optimistic. I feel like I think the Pirates can put that Michigan game behind them. They played, like we talked about all week, like an exhibition game against one of the best teams in the country. But this is a game that they're going to have to come out and execute. And I think it'll be good early to go ahead and get those their first touchdown of the year sometime early in the first quarter, and then just build on it. And but I feel like the Pirates are going to pull this one out. Hopefully the home field advantage will kick in as well, and Pirates win today. That's what I'm thinking.
All right, Ellerby, good stuff. We'll check back in with you later out of the Pirate Radio Tailgate Zone. Y'all have fun out there, and don't let Chandler wreck that awesome cart you got out there.
Yeah, Chandler and Jenny and the crew are driving around to Pirate Radio monster golf cart, riding around, flag them down. They're going to get some pictures and video, put you on our social media. So hopefully it'll make it back in one piece thanks to 360 golf carts.
All right, Ellerby, good stuff. We'll talk to you later.
All right, see you guys.
There you go. Boy, Chandler and Jenny handed the keys.
Yeah, that's trouble.
That's a lot of trust everybody's putting in them right now.
Trouble.
All right, BB. Glad to have you here live in studio.
Glad to be here.
So, in the past, we've had the voice Jeff Charles join us hour one in studio of the Bud Light pregame tailgate, and we're gonna honor him all season long. They honored him last night, and we'll do it at the game as well. And Shirley, you said Miss Debbie Charles actually gave us this to show in the studio. It is a microphone. It says Jeff Charles, voice of the Pirates, 1988-2023, and it is really cool.
It really is. Very nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was from the event that was held last night over at ECU's campus, and Debbie was nice enough to save one for us. And so that will sit right up there in our studio for a long time to come.
And I think if you haven't seen the pictures yet, because obviously everybody can't get into the broadcast booth, but there are some pictures out there that ECU Athletics put up, and they did a really nice job of, the verbiage of paint this one purple on the wall, because that's what you think about with Jeff Charles. You think about all the great games that he called and those big wins. And, I've said this many, many times, our careers have kind of, been parallel. I mean, a lot of times if I couldn't do something, he'd take my place. If he couldn't do something, I'd take his place. So we miss him on a daily basis, just a true professional. And I think what East Carolina did with the broadcast booth, the Jeff Charles radio booth, is really, really something special.
And his friend Steve Cotton joined us earlier this week, play-by-play voice of Marshall. We'll hear from him coming up, talking about this Marshall team. They did not necessarily light the world on fire against Albany last week, Bailey, and you wonder how much they showed in their game.
I watched some of the tape of that, and I was really surprised because they came out, and I think they had a 70-yard run right off the bat, but it was called back because of a penalty. They were down 17-7 late in the third, and they're at home, and they're kind of stumbling around, and they righted the ship just in time and got the win. So I'm thinking to myself that, East Carolina made a lot of mistakes in their game, but they're playing the number 2 team in the country on the road in front of 109,000. And I think advantage goes to East Carolina as far as that goes, because Marshall didn't look very good at all. Now they may come out completely different this week. Maybe they didn't want to show a whole lot of stuff, but you got to win that first game, and they did. But it wasn't a thing of beauty at all.
Yeah, and they are a road favorite coming into Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium today. For East Carolina, most of the questions are still being asked about the quarterback, Bailey, and what ECU is going to do there. And we talked a lot about it this week with Mike Houston, with Donnie Kirkpatrick. And I guess they're going to roll with Mason again to start. I don't know if that's out publicly, but I assume we'll see Mason. And I asked Donnie, if your starter goes out there and has 2 straight drives with 2 scores, are you going to go to the other guy? And he said, no, we're going to ride the hot hand. So there's a chance for either one of the two to take over this job. Well, how do they do that? They go out and produce and score and all those things. So we're going to likely see both again today, Bailey, and see what happens out there.
Yeah, I think that's the disappointing part right now for the Pirate offense, is that one of those 2 guys hasn't taken the bull by the horns and just, taken over that position. And I think most thought that it would be, Mason Garcia. He's had so many chances and, in not so many chances, but he's been waiting for so long to get that big chance. And now that he's got the big chance, I think that a lot of the coaches have been disappointed that he just hasn't been able to take it and just, let it be his job. And maybe, we keep saying it, but maybe today's the day that he goes out and the light comes on. I've heard so many times through the years that all of a sudden the light comes on for guys. I remember when Holton said, all of a sudden the light came on. I thought that was just something people said. But I think it's a true thing, and hopefully it starts to happen today. But I do believe, I'm not one of those that says you have to have one. I think you can use 2. I go back to my days as a kid when the Cowboys had Craig Morton and Roger Staubach, and I thought that was real. They were alternating the plays in, and that's really, really old school, leather helmets and that kind of thing. But I just want to see the offense. The offense, it doesn't matter who's quarterbacking that team. If they don't run the football, they're not going to have a lot of success.
Brian Bailey joining us in the Pirate Radio studios. Nebraska had a great drive going, and guess what? They fumbled
the Nebraska
exchange.
Yeah.
Good grief. Yeah. Just brutal. Quarterback Sims drops the snap. It was a little low, but he should have caught it. Now Colorado has the ball, no score, as they play in the first quarter. Bailey, you're here for another 10 or 15. You want to watch this or State Notre Dame? You can make the call.
We'll watch State Notre Dame.
Yeah, I'll turn it over there and see what's going on.
State school and see what's happening.
Right now, no score in that one. No score in Utah-Baylor. As we follow along on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard, I love doing the show while there's games on.
Oh, me too.
It's like, it adds a whole new element to it.
What about Wake Forest? Are they back playing again? They had a lightning delay. Or they had an interception, ran it back inside the 10 of Vandy, and then they had a lightning delay.
According to the ESPN scoreboard,
they're still delayed.
They're still delayed.
Yeah.
So we'll keep an eye on that.
Get ready for that, folks, because that could happen again.
Yeah, might have some issues. Gosh, you remember that one?
Don't say it ain't so.
Yeah, really. Had to come back the next day and lose to an FCS school.
Yeah.
That did not go well. All right, Bailey.
Give me my money.
How about other things on the offensive side? No sacks allowed last week. Now,
I think that's a big plus.
It is. Donnie said he would have much rather had a sack than Mason throwing it off his back foot for an interception because of pressure. So said sometimes sacks aren't the worst thing in the world, but leaving Ann Arbor with no sacks allowed is huge. On the negative side, had some drops that hopefully they can clean up from week 1 to week 2.
Yeah, that's a huge key too. You got quarterbacks who are trying to find their way. You can't afford to be dropping the ball on them, and if that happens, that's another part of that offense trying to find itself. But I thought the fact that the only turnover was the interception, and the Pirates didn't force one, which Pirates have to force turnovers to win as well. And I think Blake Harrell was disappointed in that aspect of it. But the Michigan game was kind of an odd game, really, because it really wasn't a game of big plays. It really wasn't a game of anything like that, but it was, I was mesmerized looking around 109,000 people. But as people have said since then, it really wasn't all that noisy or anything. It wasn't that loud. It was just a whole bunch of people.
Well, yeah, is that stadium design, or was that, like you said, no big plays?
I think a combination of that. Yeah, a combination of that for sure.
It probably gets a little louder when the Buckeyes roll in. Maybe.
I'm sure.
Penn State.
That's what I was thinking about when I was walking around the tunnel, and I was thinking, like, man, I'm in the East Carolina locker room. What is it like in November when Ohio State is in this locker room and the Buckeyes are coming out, and these teams are ranked in the top 10, and they're playing for a championship?
So they're shoulder to shoulder coming out on the field, and I saw like an ECU guy, and it wasn't anything serious, but like talking to a Michigan guy, and I just can't imagine the rivalry.
But they had a little battle last year in the Michigan State game. They had a little incident that happened in that tunnel because one locker room was on one side of the hall and the other locker room was on the other side of the hall, and they try to bring them out at different times, but you know how that works sometimes.
Right. One more note on the offense. I was going to go back to one more positive. Running backs look good, Bailey, and Javius Bond, Mike Houston, not afraid to throw out a true freshman running back. He did it with Keaton and Rajay. He did it last year with Marlon Gunn, and he did it week 1 against Michigan with Javius Bond, who has got a little burst in him.
Yeah, he's got a really big burst in him. I'm excited to see him play, and if they can get one of those guys going, I'd like to see. I saw Rajay in the hall yesterday. I said, Rajay, what about 124 yards and 2 TDs, buddy? He said, you got it.
Okay, all right.
Let's see if that happens. Write that down.
That's my fantasy guy for today, Rajay. Since Bailey did have a trend going where when we talked to you on the field, hour 3, somebody would walk by you, and that guy would always have a big game. So maybe we'll see what happens.
Better to be lucky than good.
Again, back to the defense, Bailey. They were able to stop. It was a lot like last year, almost a microcosm. Stop the run, but give up some plays in the passing game. That's kind of what East Carolina did a year ago. Now, it's Michigan. I think they're going to be able to get to the quarterback against some other teams where they were a split second off of getting to McCarthy last week. But Blake Harrell's got his work cut out for him this week with the tempo. He said that Marshall's going to go at a different speed. In fact, when we talked to Steve Cotton, he said when they got down 17-7, they went into hyper warp speed, and that really helped them get Albany on their heels and start scoring some points.
Yeah, and you get into that heat. Now, luckily for East Carolina and for both teams, probably the heat's not supposed to be as bad as maybe it has been the past couple of days. I was surprised that Coach Houston at this press conference, I think it was Wednesday night, man, he was not in the greatest of moods because I think he was just hot.
Well, he was like dark brown, magenta. He had been roasting in the sun.
I mean, it was like a rotisserie chicken. I mean, he was hot. And then he was like, I'm telling you what, I think he's making more of a argument for that indoor practice facility. It's like you're going to bake me out there.
Okay, so he has
get that indoor facility.
He has some real cookers out here. Do you have Houston Shirley, the last cut from Wednesday? Just play cut 1. I like his intro.
Oh, yeah.
So we got some
challenging weekends past week.
No, not that one.
All right, Wednesday's in the books.
Yeah.
It's been a couple of cookers out there the last 2 days now.
That's it. A couple of cookers out
Couple of cookers.
So, it has been hot. And, Bailey, one thing about team going fast, all that, East Carolina has talked about their depth all offseason, and certainly the D-line. That's going to help them out in a game like today.
Yeah, that depth on the D-line, that may be their strength. That's just one of those things that those big guys, they need some help. They need some rest every once in a while. So I think that the more depth you can have down there, the better it's going to be. And I think that's a real plus for East Carolina.
Looking at some other games today, Bailey, the big one tonight, we'll be watching it during the U.S. Cellular fifth quarter call-in show. What do you think about Texas, Alabama? A lot of talk that, heck, we saw Clemson lose the other night as the Dabo dynasty done. Some talk about the Nick Saban rule over college football could be coming to an end. And if Texas beats them tonight, that chatter will heat up even more. If Alabama wins, maybe we'll ease off on it. What do you think about that game?
That's just the best part about this time of year because, 1 week, you're in despair, and then next week somebody else is in despair.
Oh, yeah.
You're surviving and you're doing better. But that's a big game. I mean, I'm looking forward to that one. There's a whole lot of great games on the schedule today for it to be week 2 of the college football season.
Yeah, looking forward to that one coming up tonight. Still no score between the Pack and the Irish, with NC State forcing a punt. They have the ball. Brennan Armstrong throwing it down the field, and did he catch it?
I think the ball bounced.
I thought it bounced on the ground. It did.
Yeah.
And now NC State's going to give it right back to Notre Dame. Utah and Baylor are scoreless in the first quarter, and Nebraska and Colorado scoreless as well. So we will update you on that on the Buccaneer Music Hall Scoreboard presented by Dub Buck. Orthopedics East injury report, Bailey. You had a lineman go down last week. You had the Colorado transfer Soul leave the game as well. They don't tell us anything as far as injuries go. We know Tyler Savage is going to be out for a little while. But as far as the health of this team, how is ECU right now?
I think relatively healthy. I think, like you said, it's kind of a hush-hush now. Different situation with depth charts and that kind of thing. But information's hard to come by with some of that. But I still think, I've been on trips with East Carolina back in the past where they go play a top 10 team and, get banged up all, just crazily. But this time, they had a couple of injuries, but nothing, all that serious.
For experienced and professional medical care, you can visit Orthopedics East on W.H. Smith Boulevard in Greenville, online, orthoeast.com. John Gilbert told us that he does get a special depth chart from Mike Houston. Are you high enough on the pecking order, Bailey, to get one of those?
No, I'm way down the pecking order.
Man.
Brian Meador probably gets one. I don't.
You know him quite well.
I may look at his, but I don't think he gets one either.
Yeah, no depth chart. They didn't do it week 1 against Michigan. If they're not doing it this week, I'm going to go ahead and assume they're not going to do one all year.
Yeah, I think that's the plan right now. And I understand part of it. Part of it for fans, they like to see where guys are ranking, but it kind of changes during the week sometimes. There's so many positions out there that change, and so many positions that they use 5, 6, 7 guys that they really, they don't want the guys that are the second or third teamers on the list, even though they play as much as the first teamers, to feel worse. So,
is that? Yeah, I've seen.
I think
some
that's part of it.
Say like, with the transfer portal era, you don't want it out there to show that there's a guy below another guy. Is it really that?
It might be. I mean, that transfer portal has changed the world we live in.
I guess so.
As has NIL. So.
And you'll see it on the field today. Marshall, I think the number, did Steve Cotton say 30 new players? They got a ton of guys coming in. So that could explain how they were a little off week 1. They're going to get better as the season goes on. You just hope that's not today.
Yeah, and you wonder, how that all factors in when you got so many new players, because back in the day, it used to be the Pirates would get a transfer in, and all the fans would get fired, always a transfer, and then the coaches would say, hey, it's going to take at least a year. We're going to redshirt them a year so we can get acclimated. Well, there's no acclimation process now. You just bring them in and get them going.
I mean, the leader, and we talked to him for the first time this week, the leader on the offensive line is Dustin Hall, a transfer, and Mike Houston called him a leader in that room, and he was great to talk to. Might have part of that interview coming up later on in the show, but that's an example. Last year, Isaiah Winstead, he didn't come here to sit around and wait. He came here to try to make the NFL, and he
basically has.
Yeah,
I mean,
practice squad for the Niners. By the way, Holton Ahlers on the team, waived, now back on. I think that's it.
Is that the way it went?
I think that's it. Keaton Mitchell is on the injury?
He made the 53, but then he got put on injured reserve, which means he has to sit out 4, I believe, 4 games.
And good for Ryan Jones too. Didn't get in the box score a lot this preseason, but he did enough to make that practice squad for the G-Men, who will be taking on your Cowboys Sunday night, BB. How you feeling about that one?
You know, if they can decide which color jersey, Dak knows which color jersey they're wearing, I think they got a chance. But
that's going to be trouble because the Giants and Cowboys both wear blue and white, so they better let them know before the game.
I glanced up at the TV, and they were showing old footage of Notre Dame and NC State, and I said, the storms have come already because it was a quagmire. But
that was a few years ago.
That was old footage. I remember that game. So
that was a crazy one. They are playing right now on what looks like gray skies, but no precipitation there in Raleigh and no score between the Irish and the Wolfpack. Baylor and Utah scoreless as well, and Colorado, Nebraska, no score in that one. All right, BB, before we let you get out of here, your final thoughts, your keys for this one for East Carolina.
Well, I think it just comes down to running the football. If East Carolina can run the football, control it, I think they still have to get a turnover or two, make it a short field for whichever quarterback is out there. I'm hoping that we see a really good Mason Garcia today. I hope he gets out there and just stands tall in the pocket, whips that thing around. He can absolutely spin it. There's no question about it. And if he gets some confidence going with him, and he can also run the football. He's a big kid. So hopefully today's the day that we see all of that and see what happens.
Line is back to 3. And Bailey, the total is 43.5. It's like an NFL total. Wow. And we had a commenter earlier this week say he's expecting a Skip Holtz era-ish 21-17. And when you came out and said run the ball, control the clock, it reminded me of that. You think maybe we see a lower scoring game today, or does it open up?
You know what happens whenever we say
whatever you say, it's going to be the opposite.
It's the opposite. So it'll be 50. It'll be like the old bowl game that time, 64-61. But no, I think it'll be a low scoring game. I think it's going to be whoever can run the ball and control the football, and whoever doesn't turn the football over.
We'll have Brian Bailey's Papa John's Pirate Preview coming up later on in our show, and maybe check in with him again out at the field. Bailey, what are your game day duties today? What are you going to be doing?
I don't have as many game day duties as I used to have, so we've kind of scaled some of that back down. Mainly, I kind of work with Brian Meador on things for the Coaches Show. Right. What we try to do with the Coaches Show that airs on Sundays at 11:30 a.m. on WNCT is to make it as current as possible. So, like today, we're going to do something on the Jeff Charles thing from last night in our show. Obviously, we'll have highlights of the ECU Marshall game. We're going to do something with some of the Marshall, the 70 football team for East Carolina is going to be on the field. Red Dawson, who was the coach that didn't come back on the plane, is going to be in the stadium today. He's going to be honored. Keith Morehouse, his dad was the play-by-play guy. He's going to be honored on the field. So we're going to do a little bit with that as well. So we just try to make it as current as we possibly can with some of our features and things. So I'll be working with Brian Meador, so that's always a good time.
Good stuff. Going to be a fun one today at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium. Get there and get loud as Pirate football is back for another year in Greenville. Bailey, awesome. Hanging out, man.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Next week you'll be in Boone.
Yes.
So we'll talk to you via phone.
Sounds good.
But good to have you in studio here today. Let's take a break. When we return, we'll have more for you. Hour 1, Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. We'll hear from the play-by-play voice of the Marshall Thundering Herd, Steve Cotton. Why did Marshall look so shaky last week? What happened in that game against Albany? Who are some guys to watch on offense other than the great speedy running back Ali? And what about their defense? We'll talk about it all with Steve Cotton when we return. Hour 1, Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. Back with you after this.
When you walk through the doors of Villa Verde, you'll experience the sights, sounds, and smells of authentic Dominican flavors. This is Jay from Villa Verde, inviting you to come by and try one of our amazing empanadas. Our famous red snappers, grouper bites, seafood paella, Cuban sandwiches, and much, much more. Relax on the patio with a fresh mojito or a cold beer while enjoying one of our out-of-this-world desserts, like our rum pineapple cake or our famous tres leches. Villa Verde on 10th Street, a platform for good, and a proud supporter of the Pirate Nation.
I'm Caleb Stroud, the founder of Stroud's Marine. I grew up on the water and I've loved boating my entire life. In 2012, I decided to give back to the marine community by creating a way for boaters to order pre-owned salvage marine parts online. Stroud's Marine was born to offer incredible prices and unparalleled customer service. We stand behind every part we sell, and our mission is to save you money and get you back on the water as quickly as possible. Visit StroudsMarine.com today for more information. Stroud's Marine, your best source for salvage outboard parts.
The time to save is now during Bostic Sugg Furniture's incredible Labor Day savings event. Low prices on in-stock furniture and mattresses ready for immediate delivery. Look for hot buy savings store-wide on Lazy Boy recliners, sofas, and sectionals. Experience your best sleep and save on a comfortable new mattress. Plus, get up to 60 months special financing. It's the biggest sale of the season with the lowest prices of the season. The Labor Day savings event on now at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
For years, Callie Ann Phelps has been singing about Phelps Chevrolet.
Phelps Chevrolet is the one for you. Low prices, service too. See the big dealer right away. Carolina's finest, Phelps Chevrolet.
And you'll agree with what Skylar Phelps has to say.
Nobody beats Phelps Chevrolet's prices. Nobody.
The name you can depend on. Phelps Chevrolet.
Get you one.
Ahoy, mateys! It's Captain Jack Spare of R&R Tire Express. We're here to serve our pirate community by offering easy payments for easy ownership. For you landlubbers, R&R will install a new set of tires for just $20. $50 installs new custom wheels and tires. To learn more about R&R, stop by 3920 US 264 or rnrtires.com.
Any adventure, any task, anytime. There's a Yamaha utility ATV for any ride and any rider. See the full lineup at Ron Ayers Motorsports. Adventure seekers can start with the trail-tested capability and comfort of the Yamaha Grizzly line. And for the ultimate in mid-size ATV performance, check out the Yamaha Kodiak 450. And for those who mix work and pleasure, the Yamaha Kodiak 700 line devours chores and leaves room for adventure. Find your ATV at Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11 north of the airport in Greenville, or go to YamahaMotorsports.com. ATVs are recommended only by riders 16 years and older. ATVs can be hazardous to operate. Yamaha recommends an approved training course. For safety and training information, see your dealer at Ron Ayers Motorsports or call 1-800-887-2887.
Picking football games against the spread is hard. Shopping at the Appliance Superstore is easy. This is Frank Lee from the Appliance Superstore, and right now we're having a big sale with 50% off open box French door refrigerators. Did you know we also offer delivery and setup when you shop with us? And if we don't have what you want, we will make a special order for you. The Appliance Superstore off 264 behind the new DMV, or shop us online, ApplianceSuperstore.com. Remember, we make buying appliances easy at the Appliances Superstore.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Ottavola Market Cafe. Ottavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Ottavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Ottavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Ottavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Ottavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OttavolaMarket.com. Ottavola, pirates supporting pirates.
This is Amanda Houston, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the pirate nation. Go Pirates! Insane!
Yeah, 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 yeah. My heart is purple and gold. I'm a pirate down of my soul, and I don't back down at all.
You're listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate on Pirate Radio. Now back to the show. Now, with the Pirate Radio Scoreboard, here's Shirley Rhodes.
All right, we got a few games underway. Number one, Georgia and Ball State, no score as of yet. Seventh-ranked Penn State has a 7-0 lead over Delaware. James Madison has a 14-0 lead over Virginia. Number 10, Notre Dame and NC State, no score yet. And the game we're keeping a close eye on, that Nebraska-Colorado game, there's no score so far. Kansas State has jumped out to a 7-0 lead over Troy. Youngstown State and 5th-ranked Ohio State are tied at 7 apiece. And right now, Virginia Tech is sick and tired of losing to Purdue because they are trailing Purdue 7-0. That is a look at your Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard, brought to you by The Buck. The Buccaneer Music Hall has all the fun for your Sunday Fun Day covered. Every Sunday, kick off the day at The Buck. The Buck has the largest 4K screen in Greenville, along with 18 TVs, so you don't miss a game. And they'll have mimosa specials, a Bloody Mary menu, and pizza all day from Pizza Hut. And don't forget the weekly jersey giveaway starting at 5 o'clock. Score every Sunday at Da Buck. Now let's head back in to the Bud Light pregame tailgate. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
Da Buck. Shirley with the old Bob Knight reference. That was good.
I couldn't resist.
Yeah. Sick and tired of losing to Purdue. Fresno State is not, because they beat Purdue just last week. Yeah, James Madison putting it on Virginia, and Virginia just scored. So it is now 14-7 as they play 6 minutes in the first quarter. So that might be a fun one today in Charlottesville. I've flipped from NC State Notre Dame back to Colorado and Nebraska, and we do have a score in the Notre Dame game. They have just kicked a field goal, a 54-yard field goal. So Notre Dame takes a 3-0 lead, and keeping an eye on everything as Shadur Sanders and the Buffs have it at around midfield as they try to get to 2-0 on the year against Nebraska. Again, one of the weirdest lines of the week. It was weird that it was 3. It was even weirder when I saw it last night, and it was 2.5. So I don't know. I put my trust in Matt Rule, Joey.
That's just so wrong to do. I mean, the Panthers did it, and look what happened to them.
Not in college. It's totally different.
And you are right. He's got a great track record in college. He uplifts these programs, but I don't know if he compares to what Deion's doing to his program. So let's see what they do.
It is personal, you know.
Is that Deion?
Yeah.
Deion has so many quotes and things he says. I just assume anything said comes from Deion. We're coming. We're here. It ain't personal. You know where to find. Ain't hard to find.
My bags
He
are
is
Louis.
him.
He is him.
I got the receipts.
His Heisman is chilling in the crib. I know this. He better get his punt team out there because it's 4th down, and they need to punt it away to Nebraska. So, yay. All right, let's talk East Carolina Marshall here, and I want to hear from you as well in the chat today. What's going on, Tyler, Ray, Steve, Dawson, Kaz? Jamie is in the house, and the whole crew. So let us know what's on your mind. Give us a prediction. What's on your tailgate menu today? Let us know on X, Facebook, and YouTube. All right, we'll hear now from Steve Cotton. We talked to Steve earlier this week. Got a good scouting report on this Marshall team as to why they struggled last week, players to watch, special teams, everything in between. Let's hear from the voice of the herd, Steve Cotton. A lot of questions on the Pirates side coming off a loss at Michigan, Steve, and we've got questions about Marshall and as to why that score was as close as it was on Saturday, 21-17 against Albany. So, Steve, how do you answer that one? What did Marshall do well? Why were they not really able to pull away from the Great Danes?
Well, some mistakes, not a huge number. The coaches, Coach Huff and staff, were not just irate about the way the team played, but some mistakes at critical times, including on the very first play from scrimmage when Marshall running back Rasheen Ali went 73 yards for an apparent touchdown that was brought back because of a hold, and indeed a hold that did not affect the play. Marshall averaged nearly 7 yards per snap of the football, 413 total yards, but only ran 61 plays, compared with 74 for the Great Danes of the University at Albany, an SCF school who only had 300 yards, not a huge amount, not terrible, but it was just so-so. But Albany had a magic man at quarterback, a guy named Reese Poffenbarger, who is as slippery as they come. For veteran fans, think back to the days of Roger Staubach or Fran Tarkenton, just scrambling around. You have 4, 5, 8 guys who might have a chance to get their hands on him and bring him down, but they can't. And then all of a sudden he stays alive long enough that eventually somebody comes open downfield, he makes a play. Or the big play of the game for Albany came in the third quarter when Poffenbarger on 4th and 1 faked a handoff on the dive and turned the corner and ran 54 yards for a touchdown. That made the score 17-7. Albany led at that point. Marshall then went up-tempo really turbo mode up tempo. It was sprinting to the line of scrimmage and snapping the ball as soon as the officials allowed. That meant that a team with not as much depth, Albany, all of a sudden was on its heels defensively, guys gasping for wind a little bit, and Marshall got 2 touchdowns early fourth quarter after one late in the third quarter to take the lead 21-17, and then that's what it remained the rest of the way. Marshall made a couple of big defensive plays right at the end as Albany had the ball late and potentially could have scored a game-winning touchdown, but some veteran players came up with big plays, a couple of sacks on the last 2 plays of the game, ended it, and got Marshall a hard-fought victory.
1-0, Marshall Thundering Herd taking on 0-1 East Carolina, and we'll talk about some of the other personnel, Steve, but Rasheen Ali's name came up from Mike Houston at the press conference on Tuesday, from some of the Pirate players we spoke to. We know what he can do, 137 yards, 2 touchdowns in the opener, and I hate to ask you this way, Steve, but it is the reality of the times we live in. You know, how were you able to hold on to Ali? I got to imagine there was a lot of teams that would have liked his services, but it's great that he's back at Marshall and that he stuck around there, and I know Coach Huff's happy to have him.
No doubt about it, and the circumstances that played a role, I'm guessing, in that, even though he, had plenty of folks ready to go if he had said he would go into the portal and that kind of thing. I'm sure he is a high-level running back. I completely expect him to play in the NFL someday. Interesting story, but 2 years ago, he was one of the surprises in all of college football, rushed as a redshirt freshman for 1,400 yards. He led the nation with 25 touchdowns scored, and came back last year. Everybody was, of course, very well aware of Rasheen Ali at that point. About a week before the season started, he suffered an injury. It was going to put him out for a significant amount of time. We didn't know at that juncture how long. It was not a season-ending injury, but it ended up costing him the first 10 games. He came back and played the final 3, ran for nearly a total of 300 yards in those 3 games, was the MVP of the Myrtle Beach Bowl, had over 90 yards and a touchdown. Marshall beat UConn to win its 5th straight game to close out the 2022 season. But still questions. He didn't put up huge numbers at the end, and that might have down a little bit on the interest, although, like I said, had he said, I'm going to the portal, the interest certainly would have been there. But I think he enjoys the coaching staff. He enjoys Huntington. He enjoys the team. And so he wanted to come back and play another season with his brothers, as he said. And so here we are with Marshall and a healthy Rasheen Ali looking for big things this year.
Awesome stuff. Steve Cotton joining us on the Pirate Radio Live Line. Pirates and Thundering Herd coming up on Saturday. Looking at the box score, Steve, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8 different Marshall Thundering Herd players catching a pass on Saturday. How about the quarterback there and the receivers that he goes to? Who are some guys to watch out for this Saturday?
Well, there were 8 who caught passes, and I think 4 others who were targeted at least once. So Cam Fancher will spread the ball around. Fancher himself, sophomore quarterback, became the starter midway through last season. Marshall was 3-3, had beaten Notre Dame, but had lost to Bowling Green the following week. Got thumped pretty good by Troy, which was a good football team. Went on to win the Sun Belt Conference Championship. Struggled to beat Gardner-Webb, and so things were just kind of sputtering along. Marshall went to James Madison, the starting quarterback, who was a graduate transfer. Henry Columbi was banged up. Marshall put Fancher into the starting lineup. He led a come-from-behind victory at JMU and did not relinquish the starting job. Went 6-1 as a starter, won the last 5 games. Now he's overall 7-1, counting the win last week. He's led the Herd to 6 in a row. He is a dual-threat quarterback. In fact, Fancher, even though he didn't start until Game 7 last year, is already number 5 all-time in Marshall quarterback rushing yardage. He's at nearly 500 yards on the ground. So not a traditional drop-back passer, but he's also not just looking to tuck and run. his athletic ability allows him to scramble around in the pocket, keep plays alive, and then eventually somebody comes open downfield and he gets rid of the ball and has made some big plays that way. So still a relatively young guy in terms of on-the-field experience. You're looking at Saturday as he's looking toward just a ninth day out there as a starter, and he has made a lot of plays, and, ultimately the numbers might not be huge, but the big number for a quarterback is the one-loss record, and he's done well there.
Steve Cotton joining us on the Pirate Radio Live Line. Steve, one thing I'm watching on Saturday, the offense and O-line of East Carolina versus the defense and the pass rushers of Marshall. 7 sacks for the Herd on Saturday. East Carolina did not allow a sack against Michigan. Now, you talked about that slippery quarterback that Albany had, but it looks like they were able to get some pressure on them. So how about the defense that'll be coming to town on Saturday?
Yeah. Normal humans at quarterback probably would have been sacked 10 or 12 times. He avoided – it was crazy to watch. He was a magician in the backfield, avoiding several pass rushes. But, again, Marshall got to him 7 times, including 2 big losses on the last 2 plays of the game. When down by 4, Poffenbarger, the quarterback, had taken the Great Danes into Marshall territory. So the Herd fans were sweating it out, not only because it was 90 degrees plus in Huntington for the game. The front 4 has really done a good job. In fact, the last 2 years, since Charles Huff has been Marshall's head coach, Marshall is in the top 10 in the nation in quarterback sacks over that span. And it typically comes from the front 4. Not that Marshall won't blitz, but it doesn't have to necessarily blitz to get pressure. And the 2 big names to keep an eye on, Owen Porter, wears number 55, local guy from Huntington, and played high school ball less than 10 miles away from the Marshall campus. Preseason, all Sun Belt Conference, and he is an extraordinary guy to watch. You talk about someone who gives his all every single play, is a great example, a team leader because of the way he goes about his business. Even in rep number 1,000 during fall camp, he's playing it like it's 4th down at the Super Bowl. So that's the kind of guy every coach loves to have, and he's effective. He has 14 career quarterback sacks. He made the sack on the final play of the game that got Marshall's offense back on the field and go into victory formation. And then he doesn't start. Sam Burton is another defensive end, but he and Porter are out there together when you really need to get the ball, get to the quarterback. Burton had 2.5 sacks last week for 30 yards in losses, and he has 14 sacks in his career, even though he's only started 1 game. So his percentage of getting to the quarterback while he's on the field is extraordinarily high. And you've got guys in the interior up front who can also get toward the quarterback. A guy to keep an eye on, wears number 5, Tyquez Legs. He is a 300-pounder who plays more like a 240-pound linebacker. Against Poffenbarger, that Great Danes quarterback who was always a threat to run, even on called pass plays, teams put a spy on him. Well, usually that spy might be a linebacker, a strong safety. 300-pound Tyquez Legs was the spy. So that tells you a little bit about his ability, and he can get pressure on the quarterback as well. So if you can block Marshall's front 4 and make the Herd blitz the quarterback, you probably have a much better chance. A lot of teams have failed to block the front 4 effectively, and so they're getting pressure. You've got other 7 guys backing into pass coverage, and that usually makes it pretty tough.
Steve Cotton joining us. Marshall, a 3-point favorite right now on the road at the Pirates coming up this Saturday. And when you got a game that's tight, special teams can be a factor. So how about the kicking, punting, return game, Steve, through 1 week? How's it looking? And overall, how you feeling about that department?
Well, when Marshall is punting the ball, John McConnell is a sophomore. And when it's kicking the ball, Reese Bierhoff's another sophomore. They both were the starters game 1 last year, and no surprise, freshmen were on a roller coaster at times. Sometimes looked great, other times it was kind of shaky, and Coach Huff and the rest of the Herd hopes that roller coaster is more of a smooth ride and just a steady, slow incline as they get more and more experience. Veerhoff, the kicker, has a very strong leg. It was noticeably stronger this year. He only kicked extra points. But on his kickoffs, I think the shortest kickoff probably hit 8 yards deep in the end zone. One of them went 4 or 5 yards beyond the end line, and that was with no wind to speak of. McConnell has a strong leg as a punter, not necessarily all that consistent. He boomed a 62-yarder, though, and he has, again, been pretty effective. So those guys, we think, we expect, but we still don't know, will become pretty consistent threats. In the return game, you have veterans. Talik Keaton is the punt returner. He is a senior. He's had that job since game one, his freshman year, when he returned a punt for a touchdown in his debut against VMI. Whenever he's been healthy, he's been the punt return man. And Jaden Harrison, the primary kickoff return man. Both of those guys are wide receivers. They're playmakers. Harrison was a second-team All-Conference USA kickoff return man a couple of years ago, and he's taken one as much as 99 yards for a touchdown in his career.
All right, there is Steve Cotton, play-by-play voice of the Marshall Thundering Herd, breaking it down, offense, defense, special teams, and a team that is kind of putting it together as far as continuity, chemistry right now with a ton of transfers, and you just hope it takes them another week or so to maybe get that continuity down, and it doesn't happen today at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium. All right, still no score between Nebraska and Colorado as they play in the second quarter, but Nebraska is driving. Also, earlier, Wake Forest had a lightning delay, and according to ESPN, I believe they're still in it. NC State and Notre Dame have just paused due to a lightning delay. Now, I'm hoping that hits an invisible wall or goes another direction and doesn't come this way. But that's two games in the state of North Carolina that have already been affected by the weather and the lightning. All right, we will take a timeout, come back. Hour 2 of the Bud Light pregame tailgate on the way. We'll hear from former Pirate wide receiver and coach Jason Nichols. We've got Patrick Mason from the Daily Reflector. We'll hear a little bit from Donnie Kirkpatrick. Also, Billy Weaver will join us. A packed hour number 2. And we'll chat with you as well. Hit us up on Facebook, YouTube, and also the Twitter itself, the X. We'll be back with you on the Bud Light pregame tailgate after this.
Find out when the cannons explode. From the sidelines down to the post. Put it down like not even close. All out to the last whistle blow. For the flag of patrol and crossbones. I came to scream and I came to yell and I came to shout. I'm ready. And I came to lift my team up anyway. I can't come on, let's get it. Cause I paid to see if I can cheat.
Pizza, subs, slice, ice.
Jenny, what are you doing?
Just letting the Pirate Nation know that Cucinella's is now open in downtown Greenville, across from Sub Dogs. Did you know Cucinella's is open every day with $6 lunch specials, slices all day, beer, wine, and their famous homemade gelato. Plus, if you're busy, use DoorDash for Cucinella's delivery, and Cucinella's is open late night, Friday and Saturday. Cucinella's on 5th Street in downtown Greenville. Go Pirates!
This is Gina from Naughty Life in downtown Washington, inviting you to come shop our Restock store. We are back from market with a great selection of everything Yeti and much more. For back to school, we have Scout lunch bags and book bags in all new patterns. We also have a great selection of t-shirts, including Old Road, Southern Fried Cotton, and Local Boy. Remember, we always provide free gift wrapping with your purchase. Shopping is always fun at Naughty Life in beautiful downtown Washington on Main Street.
Hi Pirates, this is Holden Ahlers. As I enter in a new season of life, it is still important to have a great team behind me. Whether you're going away to school for the first time, getting married, starting a family, or planning for your golden years, the choices can seem overwhelming and confusing. Let the team at Buck Insurance Agency make it easy as you enter into your next season. They have been helping people just like us for over 30 years. Give the Buck Insurance Agency a call today at 877-357-1966. Go Pirates.
Country Mart has been locally owned and operated for over 40 years and is your premier country store serving the best cheese biscuits and country food around. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Both Country Mart locations are top-of-the-line fuel stations serving Shell gas, including 93 ethanol-free high-octane gas, which is the best for all you boat owners. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food in your engines with great gasoline. Go Pirates!
You've worked hard to make your business successful, and that's why it's really important to always have a bank that's in your corner when you need them. This is Chris Richards from First Bank, and our experienced team of local bankers includes Lee Watson, Ashley Capps, Bonner Latham, Josh Hooten, and Heath Nisbet. To get the business services that are right for your business, come and see one of our experienced team members at First Bank on Arlington Boulevard in Greenville. First Bank, together with our customers, we're creating a world where individuals and communities thrive. Member FDIC.
The Buccaneer Music Hall is your beacon of music in the land of pirates in eastern North Carolina. Open 7 days a week with live music. Every Monday, open mic night. Tuesday, karaoke with DJ Captain Morgan. Wednesday, acoustic night. Thursday night, line dancing and music from DJ Dog. On Friday and Saturday night, enjoy the best local bands in the area. And don't forget, Sunday Fun Day during football season with NFL jersey giveaways and more. Check out Facebook and Instagram for all up-to-date info. Y'all come get bucked up. Go Pirates!
Be sure to check out David Price Construction for all of your commercial or custom residential renovation and building needs. Run by ECU alumni, David Price Construction specializes in commercial projects, maintenance on facilities, and large-scale residential renovations and additions. Proud to be voted the Remodeler of the Year by the Home Builders Association of Raleigh-Wake County in 2018 and Best Business Commercial Remodel Project winner for 2020. David Price Construction, the proud ECU Home Services partner.
Blue cheese 42! Blue cheese 42! Hot garlic! Loaded waffle fries! Said, wings over! Delay of order on the offense. Don't hesitate to make your order. Order today by going online at wingsover.com or by calling 758-9464. Wings Over Greenville has over 20 flavors to choose from, including the all-new Fire Buffalo. And be sure to try the cheesy chicken loaded nachos. So don't delay, order today. Wings Over, they deliver.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 at 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate on Pirate Radio. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Watch all of Pirate Radio's local programming on YouTube Live. You can watch Pirate Radio Live Monday through Friday from 3 until 6 p.m. And, of course, you're watching the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. And you can also watch the U.S. Cellular fifth quarter on game days. Just go to YouTube, search Pirate Radio TV, click on that subscribe button, and while you're at it, click on the like button, too. And a quick Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard update for you, Clip. NC State and Notre Dame have now gone into a weather delay with Notre Dame leading 3-0 and still keeping an eye on that Nebraska-Colorado score. No score as of yet, as Nebraska 1st and 10 right now in the second quarter.
And just broke off a big run and looked like they ran a similar play there on the very next play, and it didn't quite work. But right now, Colorado and Nebraska scoreless as they play on Big Noon Saturday on Fox. Got Jason Nichols here in the Pirate Radio studios getting ready for week 2 here, East Carolina and Marshall. Jason, welcome in. How you doing, man?
Doing good, Clip. How you doing, buddy?
Doing great. And it was fun last week doing the show, but when you got games going on and you're talking Pirate football, it's even better. So this is what I like right here. A lot to follow and a lot to talk about. We'll get the insight of Jason Nichols coming up in a moment. We'll also talk to Patrick Mason, who joins us on the Pirate Radio Live line. P. Mace, how you doing today?
What's up, Clip? How's it going?
Going good, and you'll be making the trek to Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium after a trip to Ann Arbor, and Pirates underdogs here at home today. What do you think about the line and the matchup with these Thundering Herd?
Yeah, it's definitely a little interesting, but for some reason, I don't know, I would never, in my own mind, I guess the Pirates wouldn't be an underdog. I guess I understand the line because there are some questions around how the offense is going to operate. none of those questions were really answered at all in the first week. So, yeah, I can understand why the national landscape here has some questions about the Pirates. But personally, I'm feeling kind of confident in this game, and I don't know if I'm sure why, but I am kind of feeling pretty confident about it.
Patrick, I don't know. Let's play a little hypothetical here, a little over under. Who has the better passing day today? Who has the better numbers at the end of the day? Is it a Garcia day, a Flynn day? Is it even? How do you think it plays out at the end of this Saturday?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think Garcia's going to get a start, and I guess if what Donnie Kirkpatrick was saying too, if he plays well, I guess you just keep riding him until he hits a wall or runs into some trouble. Flynn looked really good against Michigan. I guess really good is relative, but I think he seemed pretty in control. I think he dropped a couple nice passes in that were ultimately dropped. I guess really just I think who has the better numbers is who gets to play longer. And I think if Mason starts off hot, he might get to play longer. And it's so I think I'm gonna be official right here. I'm gonna say Mason has some better numbers today.
All right, well, let's see what Jason Nichols has to say about the receivers. I had some drops last week, but Patrick, Jalen Johnson seems like the guy, the breakout candidate, if there is one on this team. Who are the other receivers you want to see help out Mason Garcia and Alex Flynn today?
Josiah Hatfield, just be able to spread out the defense a little bit, take the top off. I really want to see Jari Patterson do something. We heard a lot about him. He was given a scholarship before the season, and you're just going to need some more guys to allow Jalen Johnson to do his thing. I do expect Jalen Johnson to have a good week this week, but I'd like to see some of the other guys do something. I know, the coaching staff was kind of disappointed in themselves, it sounded like, that they didn't let Mason just throw the heck out of the ball, just wing it. And if you're going to do that, Josiah Hatfield's probably your guy. I want to see some of the other guys just get some receptions, get 4 or 5 catches, just kind of catch the ball and just move the chains through the air a little bit. And I'd like to see that happen.
How about the defense, Patrick? What's the max number of points this defense can give up and still win today? What do you think the number should be for Blake Harrell's guys?
I'd probably say 17. I'd say maybe they can give up a couple scores, maybe a field goal, but probably nothing more. Because I don't know if I really trust that offense yet to just be able to consistently hang, 30 points or 28 points. So I think if the offense can manage 3 touchdowns, I think it'll be fine. And I think that's probably reasonable. Marshall can put up some points quick. They move fast. They got a real good running back. So, I guess if you hold them to a couple touchdowns and a field goal, I think you'll be fine.
All right, Patrick Mason joining us here on the Pirate Radio Live Line. You can check out his work on the pages of the Daily Reflector online, reflector.com. He joins us Wednesdays here on Pirate Radio Live. Patrick, enjoy the game, and we'll check out your work afterwards.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Clip. And looking forward to the game. Home opener is always fun.
Yes, sir. There is Patrick Mason on this Saturday, week 2 of the East Carolina football season. Jason Nichols joining us. And Jason asked him about receivers. I guess technically Shane Calhoun not a receiver, but he's a guy that I have in mind that can help out the quarterbacks today and get something going. And coach has got to call plays for him as well. So he's a guy I want to see get involved today.
Yeah, we need to find Robin today. We think we got a Batman. We need to find Robin, and he would be a good target for the quarterback. He has good size on him. He's got a lot of experience. So he's a kid that's used to being out there and able to make a play for us.
As a former receivers coach and receiver, what do you tell your guys about drops? How do you address that at practice the following week?
Drops kill drives. I mean, that's just it. Whenever you drop a ball, it typically will lead to us having to punt on the offensive side of the ball. So we got to know how important it is every time we get a chance to catch the football to make a play, because we're in the business of helping move the chains and take some of the pressure off the quarterback. We don't feel this way if we're throwing those balls out there and those receivers are catching it, even if they're not getting yacked right now, because there's a progression to even playing receivers sometimes. It's not as natural as people would think, but as far as catching and turning upfield and learning how to make a guy miss, but just make the catch right now.
You would think to get an inexperienced quarterback some confidence and things like that, you go short passes, you go to your tight end, you go to screens. It almost sounds like Donnie and the offense wants to open it up even more, throw the ball downfield, because they say that's Mason's strength is the deep ball. So they got to do something to get him confident. You made a great point earlier this week, Jason, about the RPOs, and it puts a lot on the quarterback. And you say sometimes as a coach, you got to take that out of his hands and say, run the ball or throw the ball, and don't let him think about too much, especially inexperienced guys, right?
Yeah, when you have a kid that hasn't played a lot of football, I know he's taking a lot of reps in practice, and he should know what that should look like come Saturday. Sometimes you want to just make his plate just a little bit cleaner by taking certain things off his plate and just giving him the opportunity to go play and play fast. And so hopefully, they'll do that today. I mean, if Mason's strength is to push it down the field, let's push it. Just make sure we got the guys that can go out there and catch it and do all that type of stuff too, which I'm sure they know who their targets are throughout practice, throughout camp, and all that good stuff.
Talking to Jason Nichols. If you got a question, comment, you can get in on Facebook, YouTube, or X. And Jamie says, and Jamie is a Flynn guy. He wants to see Flynn in, but he says I could see Garcia playing the full game because they were able to QB run on Marshall. If they're able to get a ground game going, if they're able to get Garcia going in the run game, and you get first downs, you get points, they can continue to go that route. Because I asked Donnie Kirkpatrick the other day, it was a hypothetical. Shirley, can you pull up the Donnie Kirkpatrick 7 from the other day, where I said if your starting quarterback is hot and leads the team to multiple scores, would you take him out or leave him in? Here's what he had to say.
Well, no, I think that's a good question. I don't think you ever mess with the mojo. You know what I'm saying? Going into the game, we had told Alex, you will go. And we didn't say a specific series just because of that. Now, me and Coach had talked about it being the third or the fourth one. Coach kind of liked maybe at the quarter break, which it turned out to be, and I thought that was a good idea. But of course, we always, reserve the right to say, well, we just changed our mind. We're rolling right now. I don't think you take the hot guy out now. And the other guy would understand that, because he wouldn't want us to take him out if he ever has that role.
So this is not a mandated situation, Jason, where you got to play both. If one guy is doing the job, they're going to keep him in. So that means every week, including today, there's an opportunity for one of these quarterbacks to take over.
Well, that's what you're hoping that happens here naturally, that somebody just grabs the bull by the horns and just said, hey, I'm going to become the guy. And I'm sure if he's playing well, it's hard to take a kid out when he's playing well. So that's the growth that we want to see today. We want to see one of those guys grow up today. It's a great time to do it. You're at home, so you're more comfortable and all that good stuff. So it'll be a great opportunity for one of those guys to step up and make some plays to help this team win today.
Nebraska trying to get on the board, and they will not. Doink. Field goal off the upright. It is no good. That is the second drive that went into Colorado territory, and they were knocking on the doorstep of the red zone here, that they have fumbled on a shotgun snap. The first one Sims couldn't handle, drops it, and Colorado recovers. That one, they got a man coming in motion, Jason, and as he's between the quarterback and the center, the ball is snapped, and it hits him in the hip, and he has to dive on the ball. So just brutal mistakes here, just unforced errors, right, that you just can't have.
No doubt, no doubt. You would hope they would have got that out of their system last week.
Right.
Things move a little bit faster. It's kind of harder to hit a cadence maybe on game day, but it happens. That's why it's football.
Alex is out in the parking lot listening with the speaker outside. What's up, Alex? He said we sound good, so thank you. Glad to have you in town and ready for some football. Jamie says you play the hot hand just like you don't rest your starters at the end of the year before the playoffs if they're hot. That's always a debate at the end of the year. Do you play the guys? Do you rest them? So Jamie's equating it to that, where you got to play your guys that are playing well. So
no doubt.
All right, Jason, let's talk a little running backs. And what did you see from those guys last week? Rajay, Marlon Gunn, and Javius Bond. It looks like they're going to give all of them work, and maybe you ride the hot hand in that scenario too. But what did you think out of what you saw out of the backs last week?
Yeah, didn't get to see a whole lot from Rajay as much as you would probably think, but he had one or two, tough runs in there where he got some positive yards, and had one where he kind of spit it a little bit. And the same thing with with the other guys, Bond was the one that you saw out in space a little bit more, that was able to be a little bit more dynamic. So you would think that they would find a way to get him a couple more touches, be it on jet sweeps or whatever it may be, and then just being able to get Marlon Gunn, working him into the rotation as well. I think those three are three guys that you can go win with. Find a hot hand and tell them, hey, one of you guys get hot, and I'm going to play a lot longer than the other ones.
And you've worked with Mike Houston. I'll say from the outside looking in and just knowing what he's done his career, he would just assume win, 14-13, run the ball, control the clock. I mean, if it's a perfect world, is that the kind of game Mike Houston would prefer rather than a 42-38 shootout type of situation? Or
you know what, and this is just not me being in Mike Houston's head, but me being in a coach's head. Man, we'll take it whatever way.
However you can do it.
If it's a defensive battle, so be it. If it's a shootout, so be it. Just make sure we have one more point than that other guy.
That's all that matters at the end of the day. Jason, how about the O-line? No sacks allowed now. We did see Mason's interception come on a throw where he was pressured and throwing off the back foot. And you mentioned a moment ago, didn't get to see a lot of Rajay because he was running into a brick wall quite a bit. But we knew the task at hand. So having said all that, how'd you feel about an O-line that was playing together for the first time? A lot of guys kind of jumbled together, playing together for the first time. How do you think they fared, and what do you see from them moving forward?
Well, from the naked eye, just watching the film, it wasn't a bad showing by any means. Like you said, you can anticipate maybe not being able to move Michigan as much as you should be able to maybe move a Marshall today. Just a different, type of player that you're going to face today compared to last week. But I thought those guys held up pretty good. I mean, like you said, it wasn't any obvious sacks last week. You don't know what the communication could have been like up front. I mean, those guys may have to make a lot of calls before that ball snaps. So making sure they're all on the same page is the biggest thing, and it seemed to be that's what they were for the most part. As long as they're communicating and pointing out who they're micing to and all that great stuff, that gets them the opportunity to be on the same page.
And hopefully that home crowd will be quiet on offense today. The communication won't be an issue, and East Carolina will be able to move that football on offense. Sky's getting a little darker outside the Pirate Radio studios. Tyler said the rain is here, and appears it is. So a little rain for your tailgate here. Hey, that just cools it down. I look at the positive. I don't look at the negative. We got Brandon on the road on the way to Greenville for the game. He says, go Pirates. Jamie says Marvin Harrison has 122 yards and 2 touchdowns in the first half. Marvin Harrison Jr., that is. Not bad for Ohio State as they are putting it on Youngstown State right now. Dawson is out delivering packages, hoping he gets off in time to go to the game. So Dawson putting in the work before the play on this Saturday. Good man, Dawson. All right, let's take a break. When we return, we'll hear more from Donnie Kirkpatrick and get Jason Nichols' thoughts on what he had to say, the offensive coordinator of the Pirates, and more with you as well. We'll continue to look at the Buccaneer Music Hall Scoreboard presented by the Buck. Looks like the lightning delay is over in Winston-Salem. They are back playing again, and Wake has a 3-0 first quarter lead. Georgia up 21-0 on Ball State in the second quarter. No points in the first quarter. They have scored 21 points in 8 minutes in the second quarter. Yikes. Ohio State up 21-7 on Youngstown State. Penn State, same score, 21-7 over Delaware. Notre Dame, NC State still in a delay. It is 3-0 Irish. Baylor is now tied with Utah. Utah just kicked a field goal. It is 3-3 in Waco in the second quarter. Kansas State up 14-3 over Troy in the second quarter. No score between the Buffs and the Cornhuskers. Army, J-Nick, with a 22-0 lead over Delaware State as they play in the second. Purdue and Virginia Tech in a delay with the Boilers up 7-0. BC coming off a loss, up 14-7 on Holy Cross. And James Madison up 17-7 over Virginia. They are putting it on the Cavaliers right now. Those scores on the Buccaneer Music Hall Scoreboard presented by Dub Buck. We'll take a timeout, come back, have more for you on the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate after this.
Bud Light was brewed to be delicious and easy to drink beer, even when the little things in life are hard, like when your flight has no Wi-Fi, but no one can disturb you while you recline and enjoy a beer. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up a Bud Light at a local retailer today. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Once you get the meat and cheese for your sub freshly sliced right in front of you at Jersey Mike's, I'll tell you, there's no going back to anything else. That'd be like going back to dial-up internet. Am I connecting to space to order Jersey Mike's? Any day now. Okay, it's about to connect. What? Who picked up the phone? Nope, there's no going back once you see it freshly sliced at Jersey Mike's. A sub above.
Hey, John, I see your new system's having issues already.
Yeah, I used the other guy with an AC brand I've never heard of.
You should have used Delcor, John. They install Train. It's hard to stop a train.
I know, but the other guy was cheaper.
Cheaper isn't better, John.
I know.
Don't use the other guy. Call Delcor. For a limited time, buy a new Train system and pay 0% interest for 12 months. Visit Delcor.com for more details. Delcor, the service professionals.
UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory of ECU merchandise and tailgate supplies ever. UBE has the best prices in town, so that makes UBE your one-stop shop for all things ECU. UBE does daily restocks of Champion, Adidas, and Under Armour. Don't forget to bring your young Pirates to plunder the Crow's Nest, which is the only kids store dedicated to ECU. Plenty of free parking in Uptown Greenville. Visit them online at PirateWear.com. Go Pirates!
Here at Brown & Wood with Jeff Stahn. Jeff, I've noticed a lot of great GMC pickup trucks on the lot.
Yes, sir. We have 2500s and 1500s in stock and the all-new 3.0 Duramax diesel. We earn 30 extra trucks on allocation, so go online, brownandwood.com, or stop in, build your truck, we'll get it coming for you. Brown & Wood, voted #1 by the customer in Greenville. 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 rooftops, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
Hey, Pirate Nation, Lindsay Gray here with Carolina Caliber. In 1960, my granddaddy started his firearm business right here in Eastern NC. Still family owned and operated, we have the area's largest selection for outdoor shooting sports and accessories and are one of the nation's top firearm dealers. At Carolina Caliber, we have everything you need from hunting, home defense, and personal protection, including a wide variety for ladies and youth. We buy, sell, and trade. It's a time-honored tradition. Visit us at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Taylor from Fleet Feet, making sure you have the best and most comfortable shoes this tailgate season. Locally owned and operated by ECU alums Chris and Kendra Lunyon, Fleet Feet of Greenville provides solutions through one-on-one services to runners, walkers, and everyone in between. Fleet Feet has the tools and technology to get you in the right shoes, including a 3D foot scanner that measures arch height, width, and more. Come see us at 207 East Arlington Boulevard in the old Gordon's Golf and Ski location. Fleet Feet, we run for you.
This is Jeremy Lewis, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate on Pirate Radio. Now back to the show. Now with the Pirate Radio scoreboard, here's Shirley Rhodes.
All right, Georgia has now jumped out to a 21-0 lead over Ball State. Penn State leads Delaware 21-7 with about 7 minutes left to go in the first half. Excuse me. James Madison is leading Virginia 17-7. Notre Dame and NC State, of course, we mentioned before, they are in a weather delay. Notre Dame having a 3-0 lead in that game. Colorado just kicked a 31-yard field goal. They now lead Nebraska 3-0 in the second quarter. Purdue and Virginia Tech still under that delay. Utah and Baylor are tied at 3 apiece. Kansas State leads Troy 14-3. It is Ohio State 21, Youngstown State 7, and Vanderbilt and Wake Forest are underway. Wake Forest has an early 3-0 lead. And that is a look at your Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard, brought to you by The Buck. The Buck has all the fun for your Sunday fun day. covered. Every Sunday, you can kick off the day at the Buck, where they have the largest 4K screen in Greenville, along with 18 TVs, so you don't miss a single game. They'll have mimosa specials, a Bloody Mary menu, and pizza all day from Pizza Hut. And, of course, don't forget the weekly jersey giveaway starting at 5 o'clock. So score every Sunday at the Buck. Now let's head back in to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
All righty, back with you on the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate, hour number 2. We got Billy Weaver coming up later this hour. Marcus Crandall will join us hour 3. We'll hear from Jeff Nadeau, talk about some picks here on this Saturday. Also, Blake Harrell and Brian North, and a whole lot more coming up as we take you up to the 4 o'clock kickoff. Jason, we heard from Donnie Kirkpatrick a moment ago, and I want to play some more cuts, and I talked to you about this off the air. A lot of talk midweek was about the extreme heat they were facing at practice, and Mike Houston talked about it, and Donnie Kirkpatrick talked about it as well. Shirley, can we hear cut 1 where Donnie was asked about the extreme heat at practice on Wednesday?
Well, we did take 2 water breaks today to try to force them to drink. We have a great training staff, obviously, that we got a lot of students that, intern here. So every station's got water there the entire time. I mean, there's more than they can drink. We're forcing them. You got to drink more, you got to drink more, you got to drink more, because it's amazing how much body weight they're losing. So they weigh in, they weigh out. The trainers keep a really close eye on them. If they're down, then they get a call and they got to come over and, get some treatment, and we got to make sure they eat. But the problem is, early in the year, and especially offensively, we're so new to each other. We feel like we got to practice. We need more reps, and at the same time, it's probably too hot to practice that much and not be careful. And so we did back off a little bit, which is very un-Coach Houston-like, but we were about as short, Joe will tell you that, it was about as short a Wednesday practice as we've ever had in the 7 years I've been with him. But it is a concern. Yeah, it's a concern. So.
All right, Jason, you'll have some folks out there who hear that and say, man, back in my day, we didn't care about the heat, man. Be tough or whatever, okay, fine, there's that. But you've got almost every other school in the country, every other school on your schedule that can go indoors and practice if they need to, whether it be for lightning, weather, rain, wind, or extreme heat. So you want to be on an even playing field with everybody. But also he talked about the weight portion of it and just how much it can drain on you. So, yeah, it might sound like whining and soft and all that, but there are, there reasons why you don't want to be out there in that heat like they were these past couple of days.
Yeah, I mean, your goal as a coach is to get them to the game on Saturday as fresh as possible. And so, if you had an indoor, you got an opportunity to go inside, and you may not go in there the whole practice. You may just break it up, do certain things on the indoor and do certain things on outside, because you do need the work in the heat to get used to it. It becomes a weapon for us as we get teams that may travel down here to play us that's not used to it. But it's a necessary evil, but you do want to take care of your guys, and you don't want them losing 10 pounds every practice, because that's when you start getting concerned about guys that lose 10-plus pounds in a practice. That's a lot of weight.
We just had one on that'll be on the highlight film there, Jason. The Colorado linebacker blowing up the Nebraska running back, and they play 3-0 right now in Boulder. All right, we talked about the heat, and then we put the heat on Donnie and asked him some questions about these quarterbacks. And Donnie was asked, cut 3, Shirley, what the reps look like right now at practice with the QB and that whole situation.
Yeah, what we've had to do is I've had to cut back Raheem. That's where the first cut has come. In that the third quarterback's pretty much got to just learn by osmosis. You know what I'm saying? He's got to do it in the meetings. He's got to study it. He's got to come in, and do all the things like he would normally do. But he's not going to get to actually practice that rep, because there's not enough reps. You can't keep the rest of the guys out there, for 4 hours, because you need 3 quarterbacks to get all these plays, one to the left, one to the right, versus all the different defense. So the first thing I've had to do is cut him back. He's worked a little bit against our defense to stay sharp. Done a great job there. That'll help him probably as much as anything else. So we're down to 2, and we talk every day, and we kind of go back and forth, I guess, a little bit. But what I've said time and time is right now I think we need both guys. I think we need both guys, and sometimes we may have to go to the bullpen, and we may just have to do whatever because it's a win business, and they're no different than the left guard. You know what I'm saying? When the tight end, everybody has to go earn what they get, and the quarterbacks are no different. And I think the players respect that. You know what I'm saying? That they have to go and earn that. And so right now, I've told each one of them, he's your best friend. You're his best friend. You need him. He needs you. Be a team player. It's all about the team. Pull for each other. You'll make each other better. Eventually, it will work itself out. And it did not work itself out enough before the first game, and it hasn't worked itself out enough for the second game right now. But I'm not really concerned about that. Like I say, I haven't done it a lot, but we did win the Hawaii Bowl doing that. And you know what? That worked. Now, Chris Johnson had a little helped us a little bit there too. So, we're looking for Raji and Javius and all them to become our Chris Johnson. That the quarterback's best friend is the run game. You know what I'm saying? And so they'll be better. They'll be more consistent when we can run it because we can run it. So it put a lot on them.
There's Donnie Kirkpatrick. Said a lot there. Get the run game going, and that'll certainly help out your quarterback and your passing game. Speaking of a passing game, Shadur Sanders, touchdown pass. Colorado up 9-0, PAT pending. Jason, we'll get your thoughts on that in a moment. Right now, let's head back out to the Pirate Radio tailgate zone. We're enjoying some awesome Warren's Hot Dogs food here with the hot dogs, the pizza, the subs, the turnovers, and Steve Hill brought us some goodies. Thanks for the donuts, Steve. Ellerby having a big tailgate out there at the Pirate Radio tailgate zone. Ellerby, what's going on?
Hey, Clipper, how you doing? I got the police out here looking for Tony Collins. I'm just kidding. I got one of his former teammates standing here with me, Fred Chavis. He played defensive end for the Pirates from 1975 to 1979. Where is Tony Collins today, Fred?
I don't know. I hope he'd be here. I hope he's coming to the game.
I know. So we're putting an all-points bulletin out for Tony Collins. I know I was telling Fred I think he may have moved to New Orleans or maybe spending a lot of time down there. But, Fred, it's a beautiful day for college football. Let's talk about when you played for the Pirates in the 70s. You played for Pat Dye. What was that like?
It was good. We had one of the greatest defenses that ever was assembled at East Carolina. They still talk about that defense today.
What was your favorite memory?
Would be Carolina.
Tell me about that day.
Well, it was a day they had a running back named Mike Boyd, and Carolina was favored to win, but we ended up beating them 38-17.
Being on the defensive line, you remember wrapping him up for a nice tackle one day?
Oh, yeah. Mike Boyd, he was one of the hardest runners that we ever played against, but we got him.
Fred's out here. He's a season ticket holder. What do you think about today's game? ECU versus Marshall. The Pirates 0-1, Marshall 1-0. What's your thoughts?
Well, I think we're going to end up beating them today because it was a good game. It wasn't too good of a game last week, so I hope they play better this week.
You played for the Pirates 1975, 1979, been following the program. What's the thing that stands out the most about you from your playing days to today?
Well, the most important thing, I'm a Pirate, and I'm going to be a Pirate for life.
Fred Chavis, our good friend, stopping by the Pirate Radio tailgate zone. Once again, if you see Tony Collins, please let us know. He's out here hanging out, having some Warren's hot dogs, having some ice-cold Pepsi with us. So we're having a good time here at the Pirate Radio tailgate zone, Clip.
All right, sounds good, Ellerby. We'll check back in with you later on in the show. And great to have former Pirates, once a Pirate, always a Pirate, but folks dropping by the Pirate Radio tailgate zone. We talked to Tony. I think Tony said he was going to be here for the Gardner-Webb game as he is out of the area. But, man, always fun when touchdown Tony Collins is around, and hopefully we'll see him in a couple of weeks. Pirates will be on the road next week at Appalachian State. Jason Nichols back here in the Pirate Radio studios. Jason, you heard from Donnie a moment ago. How much can it mess with the chemistry when you are using multiple quarterbacks? Is it a big deal, not a big deal? They want to find that one, but when you're running with two, how tough is that, from a receiver's perspective?
Yeah. Well, the biggest thing is just how you try to get everybody to communicate the same, the cadence and all that good stuff too. But everybody has their own little kind of twist to it sometimes. And so that's the biggest concern is being on the same rhythm, the same cadence that the O-line can get used to. So those guys aren't jumping off sides and all that good stuff. As far as a receiver, it's just, different guys throw a different ball. Some guys may throw a better deep ball. Some guys may throw a better got better placement on the intermediate throws, and you get used to it as a quarterback. As a receiver from the quarterback, and you just try to go out there and catch it. Whatever they throw it, let's just go catch it. I don't know how big of a deal it is. We did it at other places. It's mainly a stigma of we got to have the one guy that we can lay our hat on to go in, and that's what everybody's used to.
How about Jason? I've seen this too, Jason, when the plays called for Alex were plays that if we ran with Mason, we would have been more successful. I kind of watch the game. I don't get into all the play calling and stuff. Did you see that? They are not the same quarterback. They have different skill sets. So that kind of makes it tough too, right? You're calling different things, or you should call different things for the different quarterbacks. How about that aspect of it?
Yeah, you probably wouldn't put Alex in on all the Q run stuff that you would with Mason, and then if Mason has the bigger arm and some things like that, when you truly want to push the ball down the field, you're probably going to call more drop back, 7-man pro stuff so you can stretch the field. And then when you want to throw the quick, accurate throws that maybe Alex is better at, maybe that's what you're calling when he's in the game. I'm pretty sure you probably have put together, and I'm sure Donnie sat down and said, Alex, give me your top plays that you like to run when you're in there, and Mason, give me your top plays that you want to run when you're out there. And so you got a menu that those guys like that you can pull from to help those guys be successful when they're on the field.
Yeah, I like hearing about that two-way communication. We talked about it on the defensive side where Tegan Wilkes said he can go to Blake Harrell and say, hey, we like doing this, or this is a little complicated. Can we do this? So they seem to have that. I know on the defensive side, you say that's important on the offensive side with the QB and the OC as well.
Yeah, those guys got to execute it, and so you want them to have a little say-so in what they like, and when they're in there, what they like to hear called. And so we're all on the same page. As a coach, all you're doing is trying to get those guys to play at their best ability, whatever that may be, and give them the plays that help them to do that.
All right, Jason Nichols here in the Pirate Radio studios. Let's hear more from Donnie Kirkpatrick. Asked him about the drops on Saturday and how you address those at practice this week. Cut 4.
That's another delicate thing in that, you can't get like, God, you got to catch that ball. You got to catch that ball. I remember I had a coach that used to tell me, you got to throw that where you can catch it. And I thought, well, I knew that part of it. You know what I'm saying? Can you tell me maybe how to do that a little bit better? But you don't want to tighten them up, because we did. Our best players dropped the balls, but then everybody except Justin Hardy, I think, did that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if Hardy ever dropped one. I really don't know, but everybody else I've ever had has dropped at least one. So, jokingly said, hey, you spent your one in the first game, now you got to go. But we did. We had 2 balls dropped that would have put us in scoring position, and so those were disappointing. Was proud of the throw. That was kind of the typewriter effect that we suffered from. When we protected well and he threw it well, we dropped a couple. When we didn't protect well, the guy was wide open. Now you assume he would have called it, because that's the way we are. He was ready to throw it. He'd made the right read. He was stepping that way. So football is putting it all together. You know what I'm saying? You got to stack base hits, so you're going to score any runs, okay? Or you better get the long home run. So we weren't able to do that, but it's coming. It's coming.
All right, Pirates either trying to base hit you to death or just go Ronald Acuna, Matt Olson, and hit a home run. Braves all over the Pirates last night. Jay Nick, that was good to see. So yeah, the drops we talked about. How many drops do you have, Jason, in your career?
I had a few.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
When you have it, is it the old looking ahead before the ball's in your hands? Is it?
Yes.
Is that mostly what it is? Yes. Footsteps?
Yes.
That sometimes? So.
Yeah. Nowadays, I don't know if footsteps is the biggest thing with the way the rules are. I don't think
they don't hit you like they used to.
They're not coming over there trying to take your helmet off like they used to. But distraction, that's the biggest thing that I try to make sure we did weekly. Is on Thursdays, I just had it be a big distraction day. So we would attack those guys with bags and stuff, just getting them to focus on the ball and all that good stuff. But when they drop it, you try to be positive but they got to understand the seriousness of a drop. Watch the Kansas City game versus Detroit.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, like, as a former coach, what do you tell a player like Kadarius Toney, who dropped 3 big plays for the Chiefs, could have had a different outcome?
Well,
what do you tell somebody like that?
In the NFL, if you're being honest with him, you say if you do that again, you probably won't be playing again for the Kansas City Chiefs, because those guys aren't playing just to, like Detroit was playing just to get a win. Kansas City is playing to get back to the Super Bowl. And they have what's called the waiver wire in the NFL. And they got a lot of veterans that are sitting on that, inactive list right now, or they're sitting out there as free agents, shall I say, that they can go and pull from. And that's why it's always hard for a younger guy to break in the league, because they like to go with experience over anything. In college, you don't always have that opportunity, especially not during the season. You don't have a chance to fix guys during the season as far as replacing them with a free agent. Now, who knows? In the future, you may be.
I was just about to say, Jason, 10 years from now, and they'll make up something like, if your school is offering the same biology class as this school, then you can do it. So there's been a trade. East Carolina has traded 2 receivers for a future 4-star.
His credit can transfer over to our school, so we're good.
Yeah.
So,
you can't do it right now, but
can't do it right now. So, you got to go with what you got, and you got to do a great job of dealing with those guys and getting them confident and praising them when they do a good job, just so they remain confident. Because if confidence goes, you can forget it. I mean, they'll have a rough time, catching the ball. But it's a fine line that you got to walk there as a coach, and pushing them and demanding and showing them why it's important. I bet you if you go back and you look when those balls was dropped, we probably had to punt the ball.
Yeah.
And you point that out.
Yeah. Speaking on Toney real quick before we move on, I love the whole, hey, he dropped it, let's go right back to him. He's my guy. I want to throw him another pass. But at what point do you got to yank him off the field, man? I mean, he gave the Lions a touchdown on that drop pick 6, and he had 3, 4, 5. I don't know how. I mean, it was crazy.
He had 3, and I think it was 3 for sure,
man.
And so at that point, Patrick Mahomes was probably trying to come back to him to get his confidence back up, and then he drops another one. I mean, eventually that quarterback will quit looking to you.
Yeah, if you're Mahomes, that's probably the case right now. All right, Shirley, let's get a break in. We'll come back. We'll talk to Billy Weaver. Got more Jason Nichols, and I do want to run the cut where Donnie was asked, was Mason Garcia tentative on Saturday, and hear that answer and get a breakdown from J. Nick. We'll do that when we return. Hour 2, Bud Light pregame tailgate. We roll on. Utah down 10-3 to Baylor, trying to get a score before the half. We will keep you up to date on that and all the other action. Colorado up 10-0 on Nebraska as they play near the end of the first half. So a lot going on in the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard. We will keep you up to date. Back with you after this.
It's bow time. Chicken or biscuits? That's an impossible choice. How can you decide between Bojangles' perfectly crispy, boldly seasoned chicken or their fluffy, made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuits? Well, the good news is you don't have to. With a Cajun chicken filet biscuit, you get the best of both worlds. An all-white meat chicken breast marinated with a bold blend of seasonings and served up on a fluffy, golden buttermilk biscuit. When it comes to real-deal Southern flavor, there's no reason you can't have it all. Order a Cajun chicken filet biscuit today. It's bow time.
Are you one of the estimated 17 million people in the U.S. suffering from dry eye disorders that are not resolved using over-the-counter or prescription eye drops? Ask ArcPoint Labs about Serum Tears, a natural dry eye solution. At ArcPoint Labs, Serum Tears are tailor-made for you, from a quick blood draw, providing a sterile and natural option to help those with dry eye conditions. Contact your ophthalmologist or optometrist for a prescription, or contact ArcPoint Labs to help you find one. Visit ArcPoint Labs' new location on Dixon Avenue near the intersection of Arlington Boulevard, or schedule online at arcpointlabs.com.
Christie's Europub is the perfect place to relax, grab a bite, and enjoy a drink this ECU football season. Located in the heart of Greenville and just a few blocks from ECU's campus, Christie's offers lunch, dinner, and late night with live music every Sunday. And if you like brunch, listen to this. Christie's has brunch every day, Tuesday through Sunday. For the latest information, check them out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, or visit them online at christieseuropub.com. Scratch cooking takes time, so relax and enjoy a pint at Christie's Europub today. Go Pirates!
It's hard to forget how hot it gets around here in the summer. Remember, the hotter it is outside, the harder your AC has to work to keep it cool inside. And the more energy it uses to keep you cool, the higher your utility bill will be. Your neighbors at GUC have tips to help you reduce your energy use, such as using fans to cool you down inside and cooking outside when you can in the summer. For more tips, go to GUC.com and look for ways to save.
With U.S. Cellular, it's just $19.99 per line for 1, 2, or 3 lines. So you don't need that robot daughter you built to get a 4th line for family plan pricing.
Oh, Robe Elizabeth? She's not gonna like that.
The robots will prevail.
Oh boy.
Get the low rate of $19.99 per line. U.S. Cellular, built for us. Terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
Get 1, 2, or 3 lines for $19.99 per line right now at Atlantic Wireless, your U.S. Cellular authorized agent in Bellhaven, Snow Hill, and 3 locations in Greenville.
It's that time of year again. Football is back and the pads are popping. And off the field, it's the popcorn at Wally's 2 Kettle Corn that's popping. Whether it's a movie night or watching the big game with your team, Wally's 2 has you covered like ECU's defensive backs. They have over 50 flavors to choose from, including classics like cheddar, caramel, or my favorite, better butter, or specialty flavors such as Chicago Style, Wintergreen Mix, and MJ's Cheesecake. Check them out on Facebook or stop by and see Wally today on Fire Tower Road across from Sam Jones Barbecue. Wally's 2 Kettle Corn. Make it a poppin' day.
Are you ready to fall into beauty? Mark your calendar for October 2nd through the 6th to take advantage of the savings on all of Beauty Bar Medispa's services and products. Don't wait for the sale. Save time and money by scheduling your free consultation now. You can trust the licensed professionals at Beauty Bar Medispa for amazing and natural looking results. Schedule your free consultation today and mark your calendar to fall into beauty. October 2nd through the 6th. BeautyBarMedispa.com, Greenville.
Papa John's new Garlic Epic Stuffed Crust Pizza is the pizza inspired by our biggest fans. With that garlic flavor you all love.
In it, on it, with it.
Get the new Garlic Epic Stuffed Crust Pizza for $13.99 only at Papa John's.
Hey, Pirate fans, Papa John's is the MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza. Go Pirates.
This is Coach Donnie Kirkpatrick, offense coordinator for ECU football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate on Pirate Radio. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back. Hey, did you miss a show on Pirate Radio? You can listen to all of Pirate Radio's archived local programming by subscribing to us wherever you get podcasts. You can subscribe today by going to the podcast app on your phone, or you can go online at pr927fm.com. And as we head back into the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate clip, Colorado kicks a field goal to end the first half. They go into the locker room with a 13-0 lead over Nebraska. And here is a stat to consider clip. Colorado has not led Nebraska going into halftime since 2004.
Used to be an old Big 12 rivalry. Now Nebraska in the Big 10, Colorado in the Pac-12, headed back to the Big 12. Everybody taking notes? There you go. Other news, the brand new scoreboard at NC State was struck by lightning.
I'm sorry.
According to, I think Will Brinson tweeted that out, and we retweeted it on Pirate Radio, but it is having some issues there in Raleigh. They got some weather. Don't laugh too loud, just in case that weather's coming our way.
In the words of Larry the Cable Guy, I don't care who you are, that's funny right there.
So they're having some issues with that scoreboard. It has shorted out. So, yeah, you got weather going on. We've seen now 3 games delayed, one in Blacksburg, one in Winston-Salem, and one in Raleigh. Right now, sun is kind of out here. Good tailgating weather. So get on out and have a good time. Shirley, can you talk to, got Weave coming up. Jason Nichols here in the Pirate Radio studios. And I want to play this Donnie cut regarding Mason Garcia once we get Billy on. And Shirley, we're going to hit, as we welcome on Billy Weaver, Donnie Kirkpatrick, number 5. He was asked, was Mason Garcia tentative on Saturday with the start in Ann Arbor?
I don't know. I just blame myself in that I must have emphasized don't try to win the game yourself. You know, when you're going into that kind of environment, first game, you know, let's don't beat ourselves. You know, they remember what you say last. I think they remember what you emphasize a little bit, and he did. And I don't want to sit here and talk about him so much, but early, I thought it would relax him if we let him throw it down the field, because that's what he does really well. So the first play, he should have chunked one 40 yards down the field, and he was trying to I don't want to mess up a little bit, I think too much. And the reason that we made the change was just for that reason, to say, hey, we're not putting you out there just to stand there and hand it off. You know, there are some RPO opportunities here that you're really, really good at. I thought we had the game plan set to fit what he did well. When he came back, then I thought he did that. I thought he was more relaxed, and he's kind of like, well, hell, they've already taken me out once. So, you know, once you've gotten that first scolding or whatever, you've gone through that, you're better at it the next time. You know what I'm saying? I remember that. You know, I got grounded, but the second time, it rolled off my back a little bit more. By the time I got grounded for the 20th time, you know what, they'd about given up on me probably. So I think that was part of it. You know what I'm saying? All right, just get you out, let you look at it. You know, luckily Alex came in and gave us a little bit of a lift. But it was time. I told him at halftime, Alex will go first, but you'll go right in the next series. And so it did happen to go that way. But I thought he finished well. So I think we got some momentum there. I think playing at home, I just think second time around, I think he was I think he felt the good from the team. I don't know what happened in the outside world, because we kind of, you know, made sure he disconnected to that. I hope he did. He seems like nothing's bothered him. But I know the team's rallied around him, and they've rallied around Alex as well. And, you know, all that's what really matters.
All right, there is Donnie Kirkpatrick. Welcome on Billy Weaver to the show. Jason Nichols in studio. And Jason, just as a fan, like, I think about plays, if Michael Westbrook didn't rip off his helmet and throw it down and get a 15-yard penalty in a 1997 game against the Giants, we kick a field goal and go to the playoffs instead of tie. I think about plays like that. When you're watching film as a coach and a player, you're doing that on every play. You're like, if this guy does this on this play, it's an 8-yard gain. If this guy, so, you know, how frustrating, but how much of a learning experience is that for Mason, for Alex, for these guys when Donnie's kind of breaking it down? If you'd have done this on this play, we're throwing a touchdown here.
I think that's huge. I mean, that's the growth that you want to get those guys to understand why you asked them to do it a certain way. And so as they continue to play and get more game reps, that's the growth that you're looking for in the quarterback. And not just the quarterback, but everybody on that field, the growth, the steps that they can take. The biggest growth is between game 1 and 2. So we should see a lot more continuity on the offensive side of the ball today. I'm not saying it's going to be perfect. You're never going to be perfect, but it's going to have a lot more continuity, a lot more flow to it, hopefully today. And hopefully as the season goes on, it continues to do that.
Billy Weaver, let's get your keys to the game offensively for the Pirates. Happy game day to you, first of all. What do you want to see from this East Carolina offense that maybe we didn't get to see against Michigan last week?
Well, I mean, obviously all the eyes are going to be on the quarterback position, and should be. That's the high-profile position. That's, you know, kind of what makes the engine offensively go. So everybody's going to be wondering who's going to be ready to step up and take the leading man role. You know, is it going to be Mason Garcia? Obviously, he's going to be the starting quarterback. He's going to go in. But I think Pirate fans, not only Pirate fans, I think the coaches, obviously, Donnie Kirkpatrick's going to be one of them. You know, head coach Mike Houston, all the coaches are going to want to know which guy is going to step up and say, hey, this is my team. I'm the guy, and let's go do this. We didn't see that in the first game, which, you know, that of course the anomaly of having to play on the road against the number 2 team in the country, 109,000 fans or however many were there. You know, you can expect to see and expect what happened to happen. You know, those guys were, you could tell at times were a little bit uncomfortable. There were times that they threw some good balls. I did like to see Alex Flynn come in and get some reps to kind of push Mason Garcia. But I think today is the time that Mason's got to say, okay, let's go out and do this. I'm going to take this team on my shoulders, because if not, Alex is right there. So obviously all the attention just kind of from the outside world and from the fans is going to be around the quarterback position. But that's not going to be the key to winning the game offensively today for East Carolina. They've got to run the football, because it doesn't matter which quarterback is in there. If they can't run the football, whatever quarterback's in there is going to struggle. And that's just the bottom line. I think East Carolina can go in there, establish the run, and get something going. This could be a defensive battle today, because I don't think either offense really showed itself. Now, that's not to say that either one of these offenses couldn't come out and explode today. I think the line's like 43, the over-under, I should say, is about 43, 44 points or something like that. And that seems about right. That's a low-scoring number for a college football game. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a low-scoring affair unless one of these offenses comes out and really explodes. And hopefully that's East Carolina, and starting with the running game.
Billy Weaver joining us. They're stealing all our keys on defense on the YouTube chat. Skip wants to see better coverage from the secondary. Steve says getting pressure up front will help out that secondary. That's kind of going to be my key, Billy. Can we get to the quarterback? No sacks last week against J.J. McCarthy in Michigan and their offensive line. Can we get to Fincher today from Marshall? Can Jeremy Lewis get there? Jack Powers, the guys up front, put some heat on the quarterback. That's going to be a big key today.
Well, it's funny because both of those, getting to the quarterback, getting some pressure on the quarterback, securing things in the back end, leads exactly to what my key to the game defensively is for the Pirates, and that's success on third down. And if you look at Marshall in the first game against Albany, first of all, I think that game was kind of like the East Carolina-Michigan game as far as you didn't really I think Marshall's much better than what they showed at Albany, obviously. And I think East Carolina is a little better than what the scoreboard showed at Michigan. They had opportunities, like Donnie had said, and like we watched in that game, a couple third down catches on third and, critical situations that ended up being punting situations could have kept drives alive and put points on the board much earlier. And it could have been a whole different look, because East Carolina's defense played very well in that game. So I think we didn't get to see really what either one of these teams, East Carolina or Marshall, is really made of in their first games. But with that being said, Marshall was 8% on third down. If East Carolina can go, their defense played very well against Michigan, and I expect this defense to come out. They got a lot of guys that are rotating in that are playing significant ball and playing very good ball. There's not a whole lot of drop-off. I heard you guys earlier talking about the depth chart. Defensively, how do you put a depth chart on that defensive squad when you're getting so many guys, quality reps, and they're playing very well on defense and rotating guys in? That's going to be a problem for Marshall's offense. And if East Carolina can continue to get Marshall into third down situations, I think it could be a long day for that Marshall offense. Of course, they've got a great running game and a running back that, has proven his worth as well. So anything could happen in that. But I think the key defensively for East Carolina is to keep Marshall's offense behind the chains and force those, third and 6, third and 7, third and 8, medium to long range third downs where, the Pirate front seven can get up there and kind of pin their ears back, so to speak, and force some fourth down. So it's going to be fun either way, and I expect both defenses to shine pretty early.
Billy Weaver joining us. We will see you on the U.S. Sailor fifth quarter call-in show. Looking forward to you hanging out in studio with Marcus Crandall, Jason Nichols, and myself after today's game.
Yeah, that's going to be so much fun, man. I can't wait. But I do have to say that I did chuckle a little bit right before I came on about the NC State scoreboard. They've been making such a big deal about that in the off season with their scoreboard. And it is a nice scoreboard. I have to give it to them. But that is kind of, I chuckle a little bit, but I kind of, in the back of my mind, say, okay, well, don't laugh too much.
Yeah,
that's something that could happen at ECU. We've had our share of problems with scoreboards. And I just hope we get through this whole game without any weather situations. So keep our fingers crossed. That's another key. That's something else that we haven't really talked about is that if, it gets to a weather situation, how much more crucial is the running game on both sides if we get some weather come through here.
Yeah, if we have a Scott Harley game or something. Rajay bringing back a Scott Harley game would be nice. All right, Weave, good stuff. We'll see you after the game, man.
All right, we'll see you, man.
All right, there is Billy Weaver on the Pirate Radio live line. Jason, wanted to kind of get your take on the Donnie comments too before we let you run. Just about, how do you tell your quarterback, look, just go do it, man. Don't now he's almost got to say, remember when I said don't be tentative or don't be don't force a mistake. Go out there and play. That's a balance you got to do with your guys.
Yeah, that's on the same lines as you're saying when a receiver drops a ball, right? It's always in coaching, you're walking a fine line. And so today, hopefully you just tell them, hey, look, man, let's just go let it eat. Let it be what it is. You had a great week of practice. You're prepared. Let's go out here. Let's have fun. That's the other thing, too. Let's have fun while we're out here on this football field. You deserve it.
What kind of score are you thinking today, Jason?
Oh, man. Pre-rain, if it's no rain, I don't know. Maybe it's a 35-28 type affair.
Some points on the board.
Some points. I want to see some points today.
Yeah.
If it's rain, I totally agree. It's going to be whoever can run the ball more effectively, and then who can ever, make a catch or two in the rain.
Jason, thanks for hanging out for this hour. We'll see you after the game on the U.S. Sailor 5th Quarter Call-In Show.
I enjoyed it.
All right, man. We will take the wide receiver out and put in the QB. Marcus Crandall going to join us here, hour 3 of the Bud Light pregame tailgate. And in that hour, we'll check in with the big man on campus, Jeff Nadeau. Also hear a little bit from some Pirate players, Blake Harrell. A lot more to go on the Bud Light pregame tailgate. We're back with you after this.
Washington's favorite place to eat and where all the locals go is down on Main Street. Down on Main Street's famous weekday lunch specials are only $7.99. Stop by for the house salad with grilled chicken, the half club sandwich with chips, or everyone's favorite, the fried shrimp plate. After work, Down on Main Street is the perfect spot for dinner and a drink on the patio. Join Down on Main Street every Wednesday for half-price wings from 4 to close. Down on Main Street in historic downtown Washington. Go Pirates!
Hey you. Yeah, you. Have you heard? Greenville Auto World is under new ownership and is now part of the DriveHereNow.com network. DriveHereNow.com is run by local people who buy, service, detail, and sell everything directly to you. Greenville Auto World is now the 5th dealership to join the DriveHereNow.com network. Get car shopping today at DriveHereNow.com and choose a location near you. DriveHereNow.com, serving Eastern North Carolina for over 47 years and proud supporter of the Pirates.
When it comes to toughness on the field, the ECU Pirates are second to none. The same holds true for quality equipment. Our lineup of agriculture, lawn, garden, and commercial worksite equipment brings legendary toughness and reliability to any task, and quality makes them easy to own with low monthly payments. Get it done right. Stop by one of our 36 locations or visit us online at QualityEquip.com. Proud sponsors of ECU Pirates football.
Nothing freshens up a space like a new coat of paint. And no one east of Raleigh makes painting easier than CertaPro. Residential or commercial, inside and outside, CertaPro is your dependable painting experts. CertaPro's concern is about getting your painting done right and making sure you're satisfied. Whether you have a large or small job, professional quality is what you will get. Let us come to your home or business and give you a free quote. CertaPro takes all the worry away from your painting project. Go to CertaPro.com and click on Clayton Greenville. That's CERTAPRO. CertaPro. Coco's Sports Bar and Restaurant, located in the old Professor O'Cool's location, has daily lunch specials from 11 to 5, including their famous $1 wing special Monday through Wednesday all day long. Coco's has entertainment every Tuesday with country western night and karaoke on Thursday starting at 8. Take advantage of their weekly fresh fruit margarita specials and be sure to try the best Philly ribeye steak rolls in town while you're at it. Coco's Sports Bar and Restaurant, Greenville's Diamond in the Rough. Check them out on Facebook for more information. Go Pirates!
Hi, I'm Christy Conway.
And I'm Tracy Ayers. We are the co-owners of ENC Pirate Realty.
We have set out to change the real estate experience in Eastern North Carolina.
Whether buying, selling, or renting, our trained family of professionals are here to find you the right place to live.
Stop by our Greenville office or visit encpiraterealty.com online today.
And like our motto says, we close the deal.
Or someone walks the plank.
This is Dr. Christopher McDowell from Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. Our practice has been caring for athletes at ECU and the residents of Eastern North Carolina for more than 35 years. Whether it's time for your sports injury or it's time for that joint replacement, Orthopedics East provides the latest in operative and non-operative orthopedic care. We also offer on-site physical therapy and MRI services, as well as walk-in urgent care on the weekends from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. For experience and professional care, call us at 757-BONE or visit us online at orthoeast.com. Go Pirates!
Chico's Mexican Restaurant in downtown Greenville is the perfect place to get all your amigos together for some Mexican food, fun, and football. Chico's has been a game day tradition for Pirate football fans since 1983. Whether the game is home or away, make it a Chico's Day for some great specials and the best chips and salsa in town. Chico's Mexican Restaurant in downtown Greenville and online at chicosrestaurant.com. Go Pirates!
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate on Pirate Radio. Now back to the show. Now with the Pirate Radio scoreboard, here's Shirley Rhodes.
All right, it is in the third quarter. Georgia not having a problem with Ball State. They lead them 31-0. Penn State has kind of pulled away from Delaware. They lead it 35-7 at the half. It is James Madison leading Virginia 17-14. They just came out of the locker room to start the second half. As we mentioned earlier, Notre Dame and NC State are in a weather delay due to lightning in the area. The Fighting Irish have a 3-0 lead over the Wolfpack. Nebraska trailing Colorado 13-0. They're getting ready to start the second half up in Boulder, Colorado. Virginia Tech still trailing Purdue. They are also in a weather delay. Utah trailing Baylor 10-3 at the half. Kansas State leads Troy 21-10 in the third quarter. At the half, it's Ohio State 28, Youngstown State 7, and Wake Forest has a 10-7 lead over Vanderbilt in the second quarter. And that is a look at your Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard, brought to you by The Buck. The Buck has all the fun for your fun day, Sunday fun day rather, covered. Every Sunday, kick off the day at The Buck. They have the largest 4K screen in Greenville, along with 18 TVs, so you won't miss any game. They will have mimosa specials, a Bloody Mary menu, and pizza all day from Pizza Hut. And don't forget the weekly jersey giveaway starting at 5 o'clock. Score every Sunday at The Buck. Now let's head back into the Bud Light pregame tailgate. Here's your host, Clip.
Clip,
the third.
Shirley. Thank you, D. Welcome back to the show. Oh, I just saw the mush face you gave Joey there. I like that.
Well, I mean, I just turned and all of a sudden Joey's just staring at the camera, and I'm like,
having a staring contest with the viewers.
Tyler said, we see you, Joey. Tyler also said we need 30 likes. It's not too much to ask.
No, I don't think
that's... the likes up.
How many views have we got right now?
Well, we got 24 more people watching than we have likes.
Oh, so 30 likes is nothing.
Hit the thumb. Do it for Marcus.
Hey.
What's up,
Do it
Marcus?
for the Pirates, man. Do it for the Pirates. I'm good, man. How are you doing?
You feeling good today?
Absolutely.
Feeling a win today?
You know what? I really do.
Okay.
I really do. I feel it in the atmosphere, man.
All right. Good deal. It's going to be a good one. Always is when these teams get together, East Carolina and Marshall. Randolph checking in, says, what's up, Marcus? You met Randolph the other day.
Yes.
Great
How's
Pirate
it going,
Radio
Randolph?
supporter. He's the man. We got Michael Winstead, father of Isaiah, checking in with a score of his own. Colorado 13, Nebraska nothing. And good grief, Nebraska is a mess. They had a ton of unforced errors there in the first half. And if you look at the stats, they're pretty much the same other than the score. And that's Coach Prime's guys on top of Matt Rule's guys, 13-0. We're watching Baylor and Utah at the moment. Got some weather in Raleigh, Marcus. You see the scoreboard apparently was struck by lightning, according to a tweet from Will Brinson, and they got some weather issues there. There's been weather issues a lot of places today. We've seen delays in Blacksburg, Atlanta, Winston-Salem, and Raleigh, just to name a few in the noon window. So a lot going on there. Quick NFL note here on the Bud Light pregame tailgate. The Rams are placing Cooper Kupp on injured reserve due to lingering hamstring issues. He will now be sidelined for a minimum of 4 games. So the Rams are looked at as a team that could contend for the number 1 pick, just the way things have gone this offseason for them, and that is not good news as they get ready to take on the Seahawks coming up on Sunday. Chase Young will not play for Washington. He is out with a stinger, and that is becoming kind of the story of his career so far. Just can't get on the field, and that's tough. But if he wants a hefty payday, he's going to have to get out there and play at some point. That's me talking. The Washington fan.
That's been his Achilles heel.
Yep.
Is being able to actually, when he gets on the field, to stay on the field, and hopefully he can figure that out. I'm not sure what's going on with him, but
got a stinger right now, Marcus.
I mean, as far as just his body overall. Yeah. But hopefully he can get that figured out and find a way to stay on the field and help your team out.
Yeah, Commanders shouldn't need them against the Cardinals on Sunday, but we'll see. Let's talk about what else is going on this Saturday on the college football slate with the big man on campus, Jeff Nadeau. Big man, how you doing?
Good. How are you, Cliff?
Hey, doing good. What are you following right now? I think you liked the Dukes of James Madison against Virginia. At last look, that was going pretty good for you. What else are you looking at here in this noon window, Jeff? Oh, wow. Virginia is taking the lead. Wow. Okay. Didn't see that.
Thanks. Riveting information.
What else you looking at right now is you got some other stuff coming up later today?
I'm just keeping an eye on everything. I got Colorado on. I got, what else do I have? NC State. I'm just keeping an eye on some things. I'm really kind of involved already. I'm just kind of waiting for the next card to come out as far as the next games I'm interested in.
Looking at the 3:30 window, I'm interested in Ole Miss Tulane, and I saw that Michael Pratt would be a game time decision. Apparently he was banged up at practice or has some kind of injury, so that is something to follow there with Tulane. I see the line may have gone up a little bit in Ole Miss's favor. Total still sitting in the mid-60s. Big one in Coral Gables, Miami Gardens to be exact. It'll be the U hosting Texas A&M. That's in the 3:30 window. Iowa State as well coming up at 3:30. Any of those games you're interested in, Jeff?
Well, I think Miami's interesting. Obviously, I don't know. I don't like A&M's quarter. I mean, I like him. I don't love him. I think Miami has the better quarterback. Defensively, I think they're really solid. And this is a great opportunity for that group to kind of get back to the national picture. We've kind of forgotten about them for a while. I think they're kind of interesting. That number's come down a little bit. A game that I'm on is kind of on the beaten path, off the beaten path. UTSA, Texas State, the over. I've kind of identified Texas State to you, Clip, that I think they're an over team. UTSA didn't play well last week. Frank Harris had a few interceptions. Kind of a similar game to this imbecile Jeff Sims, who, for whatever reason, is still going to be in the game. Not real quite. Listen, Matt Rule needs to be scrutinized for this decision. We give coaches too much of a pass. I don't know what this guy saw in the last 6 quarters to tell you that you think Jeff Sims should continue to be the quarterback. This is bad coaching by Matt Rule, and it's why he's losing football games and why they need to scrutinize him. I don't care if it's his second game. The whole country, in fact, the whole world has noticed Jeff Sims is not a good enough quarterback. It should be benched, Clip. It's very simple.
They are a mess. Watch that first half, and just the fumbled snaps, just the little things are killing Nebraska right now, and it's leading to them getting shut out in Colorado. Jeff, the East Carolina line, I did see it last night go to 2.5. I guess it's back to 3 now. Marshall, a 3-point favorite. Total in the lower 40s. What's your take on ECU Marshall coming up at 4 o'clock today?
I mean, I'm kind of at the point where I'm considering getting involved here with the ECU on the money line. I think Marshall's got some issues, man. I really do. I didn't think they were particularly good last week. And I feel like if you're ECU, Michigan was a decent kind of prep for this game due to the fact that, Marshall's going to look to run the football with Rasheen Ali. I think ECU's very in position to kind of play well here. I think this is a good spot for them. Look, I don't love their quarterback play. I think, you've talked about that ad nauseum. The whole fan base knows that. But at home here, I think it's a good opportunity to get a win. I think the under's probably in play. I think this is like a 17-13 type of game, 20-17 type of game. I think it's a low-scoring, ugly game. And, look, this total opened 46.5. It was around 44.5 most of the week, and now it's down to 43.5. Still above 43, which I like. I think the under's looking pretty good. I'm considering maybe an ECU money line in the under. I think if ECU wins, it's going to be in a low-scoring slobber knocker.
All right, Boise State, interesting start to their season. They play at Washington and hang around a little while before Penix and the Huskies roll over them. Tonight, they are on the blue turf against UCF. UCF put up 1 million points against Kent State, I believe, week 1, Jeff. And how about that one? That's an interesting matchup, total in the upper 50s, and UCF a field goal favorite on the road.
Yeah, I like over in this game. I mean, I've identified 4 or 5 games that to me, both teams indicate offense. Boise really has issues on defense. That is not a vintage Boise State team. I think all loss last week was, look, they're better than what they played offensively. They just ran into a really good Washington team. We know UCF can move the ball. They didn't really have to face much in the way of big plays from Kent State. This is a team last year, UCF, to give up a lot of big plays on defense. I thought that total was a little low. That one's been bet up, and I like the way the numbers moved. I think that's first to 31 wins, something like that, first to 30 wins.
Jeff, who do you like if you had to pick a side in the big one tonight, Texas and Bama?
If I had to play, look, I think the number's probably correct. Look, I think it's time, again, to put up or shut up if you're Texas. I mean, we hear every year, how good this team is. They're the favorites. They're going to go to the Final Four. Yet in these kind of games, there always is an excuse as to why they couldn't win. They should have won last year. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Here's your chance to replicate it. I would definitely take the 7 if I had to play it, Clip. I'd also consider maybe just taking – there's a big play for Jeff Sims. Wow, that'll give him some help. Big touchdown. I like Texas. I lean Texas. I'll tell you this, Clip. I get a feeling Texas goes in and wins this game.
All right. Going to be a fun one tonight. Jeff, anything else you want to hit on this Saturday before we let you go?
Yeah, so, Clip, I like a lot of added games today. Big games, big favorites. I laid a big number with Army. I laid a big number with West Kentucky. I'll put this on your radar, Clip. LSU plays Grambling, 54-point favorites.
Good God.
LSU was, embarrassed last week. I think they completely destroyed this group. I wouldn't want to be Grambling State. They're going to be in a bad way here.
Do you know the biggest line you've ever seen, Jeff? I don't know if I've ever seen 54. Have you seen a line bigger than that in football?
That's a good question. I remember years ago, this was back when 5 dimes was still around. I laid, I want to say I laid 58 in a game, covered. You don't see these numbers too much. LSU played Southern last year, 65-17. They weren't very good defensively. I think LSU, maybe first half as well, LSU. I think this game is 45-0 at the half. I think LSU could score 70 in this game.
Well, the total is 60. LSU by 55 with an over-under of 60. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it could be 81-7 like last year.
Wow.
Oregon. I think LSU puts the hurt.
Yeah.
Scrambling.
Nadu, good stuff, man. Your Eagles taking on the Patriots tomorrow, and looking forward to NFL Week 1. Anything NFL-wise before we let you go?
Yeah, I think, to me, my favorite play on the board is New England. I grabbed 5 with the Patriots. I think the one thing bettors do that is a major mistake is they're consistently betting with their heart. Look, in the NFL, in sports betting, there are no favorite teams. If the Eagles present a quality opportunity to bet against them, I'm going to play them. I like the Eagles. I think they win the game, but I think it's a real tough game. I really do. I think Bill Belichick's got a pretty good defense. I like them on offense. I think they're better than years past on that side of the ball. Something tells me this number. I talk with a bunch of my friends that are sharper people. They thought this number should be 7.5, 8. I don't know why it isn't. Something tells me this is a trap. I think the Patriots hang. I think it's a field goal game.
All right, good stuff. Jeff, enjoy your Saturday and your Sunday. We'll reconvene, talk with you more next week.
Thanks, Clip. See you guys next week.
All right, there is the big man on campus, Jeff Nadeau. All Jeff Sims needed was to be bashed by Jeff Nadeau, and he went out and threw a touchdown, apparently.
No, he rushed for a 57-yard touchdown.
Rushed for a touchdown.
Wow, even better.
That's one of those things. Yeah, you get talked to. You
heard him. He's listening to Pirate Radio.
Like, yeah, absolutely.
We got to bench you. We got to kick you off the team.
We're in his ear. We're in his ear. Yeah.
All right, Nebraska back. Let's go. By the way, don't let me get hot.
Hey,
I lost 11 games in a row, Joey.
You need help.
11 bets in a row. Since then, I've won 3 out of 4.
Okay.
Including 2 last night. I've got Baylor going right now. And I do have Nebraska money line, which I wasn't going to mention, but now I'll mention it since they actually have a chance here. I expect Colorado to score more points, though, and I don't know if Nebraska will. But Baylor right now, I wanted to bring this up with Marcus, too. They just throw a couple of fades. Now, as a kid growing up in the 90s, there was nothing I love more than a fade to Larry Shannon.
Right.
I would go out and run that play in the yard every Saturday, and I'd love to see it. And from that point until now, I've seen teams use it, and it does not work at the clip that it worked with you guys. It almost feels like if you're not creative, if you don't know what to do, just run a fade. And they tried it against 2 defenders there, and it just pick another play in the playbook. But there's nothing prettier than when a fade works. And it worked a lot with you, right?
Absolutely, man. And, just watching that play right there in the end zone. And, when I played, we were coming off of 5-7, 2-9. And here's the thing about our era, when we played there or here. We had to make plays, man. You know what I mean? And so it was that, living on the edge of, hey, I got to throw that ball, fit that ball in there. I got to make that catch, so to speak, right? And we did that to the point to where, we started getting recruits and all that. But it's an art, man. It's an art. You got to, as a quarterback, you got to take that quick picture of what that defender or what those defenders look like, all right? And then you got to make a quick decision of how you're going to fit that ball in there. And so for me, for those teams that are in that position, depending on where you are and all that, and if you're a team that's, trying to get back up in the standings or get noticed and all of those things, you got to take those gambles and try to fit that ball in there, because there was a small window of opportunity. And, I made those throws. You had Jeff Blake made those throws.
Yeah.
And so we did that. And Larry Shannon's of the world made those plays. And so, it's an art. I think it takes a lot of time to figure out how you're going to make the throw and seeing what the defense is doing to it to take it away.
The Baylor Bears do kick a field goal. They don't get in the end zone, so they lead at 13-3 over Utah. Baylor, and this is what I love about college football. I said it this week on the show that I'm going big bounce back this week. Baylor lost to Texas State, gave up 1 million points last week. Give me Baylor today against Utah. It makes 0 sense, but if you watch it, it makes all the sense in the world.
They're at home.
They're at home. They're coming off a loss, and only the elite of the elite can put it together every week. I mean, we're talking about college kids. There's inconsistencies. 3 of those guys broke up with their girlfriends last night. 3 of them failed a test. Like, you got other stuff going on. You just never know, right?
You do never know, or you don't.
Jason was in here talking about that earlier. Just week to week, it is just a crapshoot almost.
Yeah, I mean, and then you get the things that these kids have to deal with today in regards to, like our team, like, dealing with the heat, and you can't practice as long and all those things that they take a toll, especially with a young group. So you got to have the mature kids to kind of guide the young ones along the way, and hopefully you can come out of there and everybody's on the same in one accord and finding a way to get that win.
Tyler asked, should I take a rain jacket to the game? I mean, Tyler, you're a grown man. You can make those decisions on your own. I would suggest Would you rather take it and be like, God, I got to hold this jacket all day? Or would you rather not take it and the rain come pouring down and you're like, man, I wish I had that jacket? Which one, like, what now what I would like to do, they still sell like dollar ponchos anywhere? I would like to get a poncho, stick it in my cargo shorts pocket, and just roll with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that might be the play.
They might have some at the stadium too, huh?
Yeah, maybe.
They have a bunch, and if you need one, I can get you one.
Yeah.
Oh, you know a guy? You are the guy. I know a
Or
guy.
you know a guy that knows a guy.
Yeah, there
that
you
knows
go.
a guy.
Exactly.
All right. Okay. All right.
But I gotta hit up my guy that knows that guy.
Okay.
Get
All
in
right.
touch with that guy.
Hey, however that guy works, all good.
So yeah, could be some precipitation. Could be a fun rain game at Dowdy Ficklin, or could stay away. Who knows?
Yeah.
All right, punt it, Utah. I'm on today. All right, let's take a break. When we return, more with Marcus Crandall. We'll hear from Dustin Hall. Marcus, who is that? Well, all of a sudden, according to Mike Houston, he's a leader on the offensive line. He's a transfer that has come in and taken over, and is a guy that now these other guys are kind of rallying around, and going to need good O-line play today from East Carolina if they want to run the football, control the football, and eventually beat the Thundering Herd. So we'll hear from Dustin Hall when we return. More with Marcus Crandall. Tyler says, thank you, Clip. I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. There you go. All right, we will take a timeout, come back, have more for you after this.
Bud Light was brewed to be delicious and easy to drink beer, even when little things in life are hard. Like when you're working late and happy hour has already started, but you're about to clock out and head over. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local retailer today. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Attention athletes and fans. Tiebreakers is looking for all-stars. Do you know an athlete who made a game-winning play, scored an amazing touchdown, or hit a huge home run? We're scouting Eastern North Carolina for this month's most outstanding athlete. Go to tiebreakersathlete.com to nominate your favorite player for the prestigious Athlete of the Month award. Tiebreakers, shining a light on the athletes that make Eastern North Carolina proud. Submit your nomination now at tiebreakersathlete.com.
In football, it takes great offense, defense, and special teams to make the perfect team. With New Blue, it takes great service in plumbing, electrical, and HVAC to make a perfect team. This is Aaron Williams with Ease Plumbing, and we have teamed up with Viva Electric and Roland Black Heating and Cooling to form New Blue Service Group. Same great local team, same great local service. Let us help you tackle any issues you may have. Just go to callnewblue.com. That's callnublue.com. New Blue Service Group, where we are redefining service excellence. Go Pirates.
I'm Michael Vaughn with East Coast Grading and Utilities. Many of you know my dad, David Vaughn, and his work in putting in subdivisions all over Pirate Nation. But East Coast Grading and Utilities is not just for those type of big jobs. We're here for the homeowners. Whether it's concrete, driveways, hauling rock, or sand, whatever you need, East Coast Grading and Utilities can get the job done. Call us at 252-531-7494 or check us out on Facebook at East Coast Grading and Utilities.
Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you can save an average of $889 per year. Hi, I'm State Farm agent Timothy Sawyer, and I'm ready to help you combine your home and auto and save in Greenville, North Carolina. Call 493-0002 today to get started on your personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
This isn't your regular cola, so this isn't your regular cola ad. No beach parties or family barbecues here, just Nitro Pepsi, the first cola ever infused with nitrogen. So forget everything you thought you knew about soda, because that nitrogen gives us a whole new experience. Think an infusion of smaller bubbles for a cola that's got a lighter, smoother texture. And don't get me started on the pour. You don't pour this like any other cola. We're talking turn the can completely upside down and watch as those bubbles cascade into the glass to create a frothy, luxurious foam topping. Can your cola do that? I didn't think so. Unless you've got your own Nitro Pepsi, in which case cheers to your great taste. Because you already know that the only thing better than the pour is the unapologetic cola taste. Ah. What else is there to say? From the creamy foam to the smooth texture to its unbelievably delicious flavor, this is cola like you've never had it before. Time to bring your taste buds to the next frontier. Nitro Pepsi. Smooth, creamy, delicious.
Warren's Hot Dog Pizza, homemade lemonade.
Hungry for game day, Pirate Nation? Take advantage of the Warren's Hot Dogs tailgate special of 10 or more hot dogs for only $1.75 each. And the best part, this special is available every day. Just call ahead and Warren's will have your order ready to go. Hungry for breakfast? Warren's Hot Dogs in Chakawinity opens at 5 a.m. with cheese biscuits, chicken biscuits, sausage dogs, and more. Warren's Hot Dogs in Greenville, across from Ron Ayers, or in Chakawinity next to the fire station. Go Pirates.
Pirate Radio.
And you write that down, because when you're at East Carolina, you go for it every time. Or you don't coach at East Carolina, you don't come to East Carolina, you don't play at East Carolina with a weak heart. Write it.
The Voice.
Of the Bud Light pregame tailgate. Thanks to Warren's Hot Dogs for the awesome pregame food, and it's Warren's Hot Dogs, but so much more. Pizzas, subs, the apple and peach turnovers, and I'm not a huge lemonade guy.
Oh, but their lemonade is something else.
But I've had 2 cups of the ice cold Warren's Hot Dogs lemonade. It is very good. It is like it kind of takes you back in time.
It's your grandma's lemonade. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yep.
Grandma's lemonade.
Sell it on the street.
You know about that?
No. My grandma don't make lemonade.
Well, Warren's grandma does. Go check it out. Yeah,
there you go.
On the porch, you got rocking chairs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just kind of talking about the weather.
Oh yeah, of course.
How's Gene and them doing?
How your mama and them?
How your mama and them and all that. All right, game day, Marcus. So Nate Dew says low score, and Jason Nichols says if the weather stays away, he could see some points on the board. What kind of score are you looking for today? You think the offenses get clicking? You think it's a defensive battle?
That's a great question. I think it's going to be kind of in the middle there. I think it's going to be more like a 27 to 21 game kind of deal. Not a high scoring, but you're going to put some points on the board for both teams. I mean, the thing for us is, of course, the rain is the weather is going to be indicative of how the game is going to be played. But I think the thing for us is that we got to control the line of scrimmage, and it's funny because you're going to bring the guy on here, the leader of the pack, and we got to control the line of scrimmage, and in order for us to be able to put those points up.
Remind me of the years, Marcus, because I remember a couple of Scott Harley rain games, one against South Carolina, one in Charlotte against NC State. Were you here during those games?
Man, I was here. South Carolina was in South Carolina. We had a freaking monsoon.
Yeah.
It was pouring rain, and we won that game, and it was nice. And being here, and you're going to get different types of weather, especially this time of the year, right? And so, and that's the thing for these young quarterbacks is that you got to be able to handle not only just the pressure of being a young quarterback, inexperienced offense, and you got to be able to handle the weather and all those things too, especially if we're trying to put up points and throw the ball down the field, all those things, because the wind, the rain, all that is going to come into play when you do those things.
Scott Harley still has the 19th best day all time in NCAA football rushing with 351 yards. And he was a mutter. When things got ugly, just hand it to him and let him go.
Man, he was just that. He was like that old school running back. You remember those days?
Earl Campbell. I see those
absolutely.
videos.
Walter Payton,
the big shoulder pads.
Yes, absolutely, man, absolutely. And so he was that bruiser type, and just always ran hard, man. Always ran hard. That's what I loved about him. And the thing that people may forget, I'm not sure if they do or not, but he caught the ball very well out of the backfield as well, and he got some yards after the catch. Another great Pirate, man, that did some good things while he was here.
I want to see that today. I want to see Javius Bond. I call this for this all the time, and I don't know why. We see it in the NFL every week, multiple times a game. The screen to a running back. We see a lot of receiver screens in college. Why don't we see the screen to the running back in college like we do the NFL, Marcus?
You know what, man? I think defenses are really keying on the screen as far as to running backs nowadays. I think they're very well coached.
It gets blown up if it ain't run. It's a great play when it works. When it's not, it's a disaster.
It's like, oh man,
yeah. So I see what you're saying.
And it's all it's all timing, man. Like being a coordinator, offensive and defensive. And special teams, like it's really, man, just timing and feel for the game and when to call those plays.
Yeah.
You like to call them when you get a good feel for the defensive rush is going after the quarterback fairly hard, and then try to get the ball in behind them as they're doing that. But even then, as I mentioned, defenses have gotten more aware of it. You got guys that are more agile to get back and make those plays. They get upfield. And then they're able to recover and get back and make the play still.
Right.
So
just athletes all over the field.
Yes, absolutely.
Boy, I guess Tecmo Bowl was really ahead of its time because if you picked, you're doing the chess match. If you pick the exact play that the offense picks, you absolutely blow it up.
Blown up.
Hey, it's like real life. You're trying to. I guess when do you want to call that on a blitz when they're sending extra men? When is a good time to call a
that is a great time.
Yeah.
It takes a lot for to call it with the blitz. There's a lot of coaching involved in regards to what you're seeing and how to execute and all those things. But a blitz is definitely a perfect way to or time to call it. And then just sometimes when you see it, the long down third and long situations where they are probably more aware, but a lot of times you get whichever defense as far as you're going against, they're more aggressive as far as being upfield, and then you're able to throw the ball behind them with the screen.
All right, let's see if young Joey. All right, he's got Ellerby on the phone. Do you have the number one button? Shirley's coming in. Dang, I wanted to see if Joey could do this. We got Ellerby lined up out of the Pirate Radio tailgate zone. Joining us now, Ellerby, what's up?
What's up, Clipper? Hey, guys. We got Steve the Pirate at the Pirate Radio tailgate zone. He's going to be the guy that comes out of the tunnel first and gets everybody fired up for Purple Haze and ECU football today. Steve, are you ready to roll for 2023?
All right, Pirate Nation, go Pirates. Yeah, I am ready to go. We're going to have a new entrance video, so I'm excited to see that. And we're just going to ready to take on the herd. Let's go Pirates.
Steve, walk us through your routine, the 60 seconds to 3 minutes before you come out of the tunnel. What's it like? What's the energy like?
Usually I'm sitting there, just ready to go. Coach Houston's behind me. We say our greetings, we say good luck, and my heart's pounding, ready to come out. Waiting for that Purple Haze to start playing. As soon as I come out of the smoke, it's like don't run over anybody. I'm good to go. But after that, it's just a blur after that. Just the crowd cheering, just get ready to go those Pirates on the field.
Is there a memorable moment you have that one when you came out that's your favorite of all time?
Oh, well, not my favorite, but everybody remembers that time that Coach Ruff inadvertently tripped over the sword, and that was I think we got lost in the smoke. The smoke was just hanging around, but I think the most memorable time was our first time coming out of the old rickety pirate ship back in the day, and when Skip Holtz was there, and from then on, it's just been a pleasure to represent.
What's your feeling today, East Carolina Marshall? How are you feeling about the actual football game coming up after?
Feeling great. After that loss against Michigan, I think we're gonna figure out our quarterback situation. Our defense is ready to go. Coach Houston's got them pumped up, and just look forward.
Clip, we're winning the tailgate. We're going to win the tunnel entrance with Steve the Pirate. So things are looking good out here at the Pirate Radio tailgate zone, and you guys are sounding great in the studio.
All right, all we got to do now is win the game. We got a lot of W's going into this one.
Absolutely.
Can we win in between the lines? Steve the Pirate.
Steve has one of the best jobs as a Pirate.
Yes, sir. And he does it well.
Absolutely, man. He gets the crowd fired up. his adrenaline gets going, and then he runs out there on the field, and then he gets to leave and not take the contact and all that.
That's right. But he does need to be aware. I mean, there's some classic video. Absolutely. One with Linville Joseph when he's on the Vikings coming out of the tunnel and just smashing a cameraman. So you got to be careful if you're around all those giant humans coming out of that tunnel. All right, Shirley, can we hear from Dustin Hall, East Carolina offensive lineman, who Mike Houston called a leader during the press conference on Tuesday. Let's get to know Dustin Hall a little bit.
Dustin, first game as a Pirate, man, is in the books, so you'd obviously played a lot before. What was it like kind of experiencing that in the big house?
I mean, it was electrifying, honestly. I mean, these guys have opened me with welcome arms ever since I've been here, so just getting a chance to play with those guys for the first time is pretty exciting.
How do you feel like it went? I mean, not only you coming in, but several new starters here around you. And tough place for that to start, but how do you feel like it went up front?
I mean, I think it went good. That was our first true time playing as five. I mean, that was a first start for two players, our left guard and our right guard. So I thought we did pretty well considering the fact that we've never played together.
Right.
So,
how much do you feel like y'all can grow kind of from the film and just learning from the mistakes, that sort of stuff?
There's plenty to get better at. I mean, we left a lot of stuff out there, but it takes all 11. So the five up front, I think, will grow tremendously this week.
Dustin, pretty impressive, no sacks. I probably think that will not happen again against Michigan this year, so that's something to be proud of and something to build on.
Yes, sir. Yep. I mean, like I said, having two guys with their first career starts in college, I mean, that's very impressive.
Coach Houston talked kind of about your leadership up front, and kind of walk us through that, because you have played a lot before, but coming into like a new locker room and kind of taking that leadership role.
Like when I first got here, I just kind of kept my head down and worked. I mean, you kind of in a program like this, you have to like earn your respect. So when I finally earned that spot and became more vocal, I felt like, being that we have some young guys, I mean, I've kind of been there, done it, so kind of just bring those guys along with me.
You've been in Dowdy Ficklen Stadium before as a South Florida Bull. How excited are you to be in Dowdy Ficklen this Saturday as an East Carolina Pirate?
Very excited. I remember it was a Thursday night game. Conditions were terrible. It was raining, and somehow this place was still electrifying. So I'm excited to see what good conditions and Saturday football game will bring.
Do you feel like you guys as a unit can grow after games, maybe more so than just kind of seeing the same things in practice? Like, did you come away after that game thinking like, this will help us a bunch?
100%. I mean, you get great looks in practice. I mean, our scout team does the best that they can, but in all reality, when the things in game time are flying around 10 times faster, I mean, people grow tremendously week by week.
The familiarity with Coach Mogridge, I know we talked before that kind of played a role in getting you here, but how much has that helped the transition?
It helped a lot. I mean, a lot of the verbiage is the same. I mean, plays are going to be different, but at the same time, they're all similar. He's done a great job, even with these young guys. I mean, helping us all transition together to play as five, so it's been good.
All right, there is Dustin Hall, very early on in his Pirate career, but already turning into a leader. By the way, quick look at the Buccaneer Music Hall Scoreboard presented by the Buck. Good news, Pack fans. They're playing football again in Raleigh. Bad news, Notre Dame just ripped off an 80-yard touchdown run. It is 10-0 Notre Dame with a lead over NC State as they are back from a lengthy weather delay. Marcus, you've got an offensive line and said the names all off season. I'll say them again. Avery Jones now at Auburn, Rashad Strother at Oregon, Noah Henderson trying to make it on the NFL roster, which I saw him at the Pirate Radio tailgate today, so that was cool to see Big Noah. Those were three huge parts, literally and figuratively, for your offensive line last year. So you're replacing a lot there. You're trying to figure things out, and this is how the portal works. This is a good example of the portal, to find a guy like Dustin Hall, a veteran from South Florida, to come in. You can stick in right away and help kind of calm the waters a little bit.
Yeah, when your offensive line gets dismantled like ours has been, before the season, have an important piece like that come in and then take over that leadership role. Not only just talking the talk, but walking it as well, and showing the guys and then having them follow. It's huge, man. It's huge because it speaks volumes of, first of all, who he is and taking on that role and being a leader and in all ways, all facets of being a leader up there. It just helps out. It helps out because those guys are probably the most important piece to an offense running as far as, from before the snap and all of those things, because they have to communicate, defense or what the defense is doing up front. I talked about it last week in regards to the box, the 4 down linemen or whatever, 3 or 4. And then the guys in the on the second level there, they have to communicate what they see out there, and all of them have to be on the same page in those regards and make the right calls.
Look, I want to see Mason and Alex sling it just as much as everybody, but honestly today, if I could write my script for the game, I want Rajay with 43 yards. I want Marlon Gunn with 32. I want Javius Bond with 28 plus another 32 receiving. I want these running backs to go out there, put together 100, 150 combined yards and control the clock and run the football and get out of here with a win today. I want to see this ground game going. We didn't see a lot of it against Michigan, obviously. This is a different test defensively, certainly, and a game where I want to see our O-line take a step. Dustin talked about it there. You get better each week with these game reps and playing football, and hopefully we see them get even better this week.
Yeah, man, that's one of my keys as far as our game plan or being successful this game is running back by committee, man, is what we have right now. I think we can utilize it to our advantage. I think all these guys have some different abilities, and finding a way to incorporate each of their talents is going to be key for us. And Dustin mentioned, for me, the biggest room I learned from a former coach. The biggest room in the world is room for improvement, man. And so. Every week from here on out, there's going to be lots of room to improve. And so whether it's the offensive line, receiver core, quarterbacks, defensive backs, whatever it is, we're going to have lots of opportunities to learn from something. And how we grasp it and apply it to that next week is going to be very important for us.
All right, let's take a break. We'll have more for you. We'll wrap up hour 3 of the Bud Light pregame tailgate when we return. We'll hear from more Pirate players. We'll hear from Blake Harrell, Brian North, and Marcus Crandall, ECU Hall of Famer, here in the Pirate Radio studios. And we want to hear from you. You thinking high-scoring game today, low-scoring? Who's your pick to click? What's on your menu? Let us know on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube. We're back with more Bud Light pregame tailgate. Going to enjoy some Warren's hot dogs during the break, and we're back with you after this.
Washington's favorite place to eat and where all the locals go is down on Main Street. Down on Main Street's famous weekday lunch specials are only $7.99. Stop by for the house salad with grilled chicken, the half club sandwich with chips, or everyone's favorite, the fried shrimp plate. After work, Down on Main Street is the perfect spot for dinner and a drink on the patio. Join Down on Main Street every Wednesday for half-price wings from 4 to close. Down on Main Street in historic downtown Washington. Go Pirates!
Be sure to check out David Price Construction for all of your commercial or custom residential renovation and building needs. Run by ECU alumni, David Price Construction specializes in commercial projects, maintenance on facilities, and large-scale residential renovations and additions. Proud to be voted the Remodeler of the Year by the Home Builders Association of Raleigh-Wake County in 2018 and Best Business Commercial Remodel Project winner for 2020. David Price Construction, the proud ECU Home Services partner.
You know, texting while driving is dangerous. That's not new information. Yet most people admit to doing it anyway. Drivers are 23 times more likely to be involved in a car accident while texting. Know the facts and wait to text. The danger is real and it applies to you. Auto Owners Insurance, the no problem people. Information provided by Virginia Tech Transportation Institute.
This is Norm Bryant with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates.
What's up, Pirate Nation? Kyle Gaines here at Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Washington, North Carolina, letting you know about our huge selection of pre-owned vehicles, certified vehicles, vehicles for every budget, starting at $799 and up. And don't forget, we have all your off-road accessories here with our Washington off-road packages. So bring your Jeep, Ram, or other maker model, and we will take care of your accessories for you. Also, check us out online at WashingtonCDJR.com. Remember, drive a little, save a lot. Go Pirates.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Russell with Russell's Clothing in downtown Washington. Believe it or not, fall weather is coming and we're getting ready for some Pirate football. Russell's has a long history of dressing Pirate fans, both men and women. To make room for fall and game day apparel, we're taking final markdown on all men's and women's summer merchandise of 50 to 75%. That's right, save 50 to 75% on summer merchandise. As we get ready, join us in wishing the Pirates a healthy and successful season. So remember, for all your game day apparel and accessories, it's Russell's in downtown Washington.
Picking football games against the spread is hard. Shopping at the Appliance Superstore is easy. This is Frank Lee from the Appliance Superstore, and right now we're having a big sale with 50% off open box French door refrigerators. Did you know we also offer delivery and setup when you shop with us? And if we don't have what you want, we will make a special order for you. The Appliance Superstore off 264 behind the new DMV, or shop us online, ApplianceSuperstore.com. Remember, we make buying appliances easy at the Appliances Superstore.
Defense!
What are you doing?
You haven't heard? Carolina Hardscapes has the best defense in Pitt County. And you know defense wins championships.
What? No. They have the best fence company in Pitt County.
Wait, they do fencing now?
That's right. Just give them a call at 364-1201, and they'll get the job done right. And don't forget, they still do patios, pools, and mulch.
Wow, now that's a championship caliber company. Carolina Hardscapes. Enjoy the outdoors.
Country Mart has been locally owned and operated for over 40 years and is your premier country store serving the best cheese biscuits and country food around. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Both Country Mart locations are top-of-the-line fuel stations serving Shell gas, including 93 ethanol-free high-octane gas, which is the best for all you boat owners. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food in your engines with great gasoline. Go Pirates.
Pirate Radio.
No! Quarterbacks eating dirt! Pom-poms and short skirts! And I love dancing! Here's the football!
The voice of the Pirate Nation.
Just take those old records on the shelf. I sit and listen to it by myself. This music ain't got the same song.
You're listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate on Pirate Radio. Now back to the show. Now with the Pirate Radio scoreboard, here's Shirley Rhodes.
All right, Colorado has recovered a fumble, and they are leading Nebraska 23-7 at the moment. Let's take a look at some of your other scores. Georgia cruising over Ball State is 45-3 in the fourth quarter. Penn State not having a problem with Delaware is 56-7 in the third quarter of that game. Notre Dame has tacked on a touchdown. They lead NC State 10-0 in the second. It is Virginia 35, James Madison 24 in the remaining seconds of the third quarter. And Purdue and Virginia Tech still under a weather delay. Utah trailing Baylor 13-6 in the fourth. It is K-State leading Troy 28-13 in the fourth quarter. Ohio State beating up on Youngstown State 35-7. It is Wake Forest leading Vanderbilt at the half 24-14. And Georgia Tech and South Carolina State got underway, and then they went into a weather delay. So that is a look. Oh, and Charleston Southern and Clemson are both tied at 7 apiece in the first quarter. That is a look at your Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard, brought to you by The Buck. The Buck has all the fun for your Sunday Fun Day covered. Every Sunday, kick off the day at The Buck, and they have the largest 4K screen in Greenville, along with 18 TVs, so you don't miss a game. They have mimosa specials, a Bloody Mary menu, and pizza all day from Pizza Hut. And, of course, the weekly jersey giveaway starting at 5 o'clock. Score every Sunday at The Buck. Now let's head back into the Bud Light pregame tailgate. Here's Cliff.
All righty, back with you. Bud Light pregame tailgate. The Buck, by the way. I feel like if we were doing the Ball State post-game show, I know how those calls would go with their game against Georgia. Somebody would call and say, hey, we basically tied with them. If you look at it, we're winning the fourth quarter 3-0. First quarter 0-0. So we won those 2 quarters.
Yeah. So essentially, we won half the game.
But here's the problem. Third quarter, Georgia won 14-0.
But if you break it down by quarters, it's 2-1.
Second quarter, Georgia outscored Ball State 31-0.
Ooh.
If they didn't play the second quarter today, this would be a hell of a ball game right now. The problem is they did at 31-0. Good grief. All right.
4 quarters.
That's right.
4 quarters.
How about our guy Perry Owens, Shirley? Do we have Perry Owens? Tell him to put some ranch on it.
Oh,
Our favorite former Washington coach.
Oh, yeah. This guy, where is it?
He just said, the anti-Coach Prime folks, quote, don't worry, them Nebraska boys will pound them. Then he said after this game, don't worry, boys, they got to play Oregon soon. And then he said, hashtag, do you believe now? So,
put some ranch on it.
Put some ranch on it. So I'm about to reply to him, Shirley. A lot of ranch being put on it in Boulder right now. So Perry Owens.
There's a lot of ranch on that cornhusker.
Yeah, a lot of ranch. How you like your corn? With a little ranch on it?
With a little ranch on it.
So good stuff.
Put some ranch on it.
Put some
I know
ranch on
I know
it.
what he's going to tell you, though.
Go to hell.
Get a job. Thank you.
Oops, sorry.
Thank you, Coach Tuberville. Man, that was one of the all-timers. Washington said that Perry Owens said, now you got to eat your words. Tell him to put some ranch on it.
Y'all put some ranch on it.
It's a great line.
I got a little taco meat on my chest.
Ooh, okay. Thank you, Daquan Barnes.
Sorry, it was food related.
Yeah, that's fine. A little taco meat on the chest. All right. Look, this is one of my favorite parts of sports, talking junk. That's why, Marcus, I'm excited to see you tomorrow at Tiebreakers, because I'm not going to have any Cardinals fans to talk junk to, but there'll be plenty of Cowboys fans hooting and hollering about crap. My goodness.
Well, they're going to be talking about Dak throwing to somebody that's not a Cowboy.
True.
Can we talk about Dak getting this monstrosity of a tattoo on his leg and had to be sedated for 11 hours just to get through it?
I have not seen anything about that.
I was reading it this morning on TMZ. I'm like, wait a minute. 11 hours and they sedated you? I did. The one on my back took 3 hours and I was not sedated. And that bad boy danced all over my spine.
Clip under over.
When was that, by
In
the
other
way, Charlie?
words,
Do you know when that happened?
Huh?
When did that tattoo take place? Do you know?
Which one? Oh, Dak?
The Dak, yeah.
Just recently.
Jeez. Okay.
The story was up on TMZ.
All right, give me the Johns.
You're going with
That's
the
all I
Johns?
need to hear. Yeah, give me the Johns.
Going with the G-Man.
I was going to say a little side prop bet. Under over 2.5 quarters. When does Marcus Crandall start asking for Trey Lance?
So Marcus is a former. I'm interested to see you, Marcus. If the Cowboys start 7-0, is Marcus like my boys, my boys, or because you're like a former Cowboys fan?
I am truly.
So Sunday night, are you going to be like in your recliner, like?
Oh no, I'm going to watch, but I'm not going to be cheering for the Cowboys.
Okay, so he's look, man.
Dak Prescott on a on a fantasy team, I'll be
right. Okay, all right.
For Dak, but outside of that, it's not hoping the Cowboys win or.
Look, we evolve when we get older. We mature, and Marcus has matured out of being a Cowboys fan.
That's me. That's me.
So you truly have no rooting interest as far as teams. You like players. You like good football.
I like players and good football.
Yeah.
Man. I want to see a good game every week or every game that's
you
played.
You should start following the Panthers then.
Why?
It's great football.
The
Good
more
game
I
every
think
week.
about it, man, I don't know. I think y'all might be bad. At least tomorrow. What's
tomorrow?
Is Chark playing? Is Thielen playing?
Chark is out.
Yeah, look, man.
Thielen is questionable.
You can be as like.
It's college game day. Can we not talk about the Panthers?
You brought it up.
I apologize. I don't want to talk about this.
Don't worry, this happens to me a lot. I say something about the Commanders, and then people start asking questions, and I'm like, hey, shut the questions down.
Forget I even brought this up. Colorado was in a score, by the way.
Oh, and Notre Dame with a beautiful pick right up here, Marcus. How about that?
He looked like the receiver on that one.
He played a receiver in high school, I'm going to say. Good ball skills on that one.
Yes, indeed.
Oh,
and
I don't know. I don't know. That may have touched the ground. I also want to see.
So we got games going on everywhere in here.
I also want to see if Shador Sanders stepped out of bounds, too, because it appeared his foot may have been on the sideline, but they're not looking at that. They're looking more at the reception.
And oh my goodness, somebody notify Chandler. I saw Tyler just say this. I didn't know what he was talking about. Is Chandler's wish of Clemson going to come to fruition? Score update: Charleston Southern 14, Clemson 7.
No.
Oh.
Do we need to get Chandler on the live line or something like that?
That's a good discussion right there.
Wait. What was
Clemson.
Chandler's position on this?
Well, he just wants to see him lose every single game, and boy, this is real bad. They are losing to Charleston Southern right now. They're going to win this game, right? But if they don't, it would be super hilarious after what happened to them. Charleston Southern, hey, they're the team that came to Dowdy Ficklin a couple years ago and put a scare into the Pirates. So, tough team there.
Yeah.
All right, other scores. Let's see. Virginia up 35-24 on James Madison. James Madison was up 17-7 in the first quarter, and then Virginia woke up. They are dominating the second half in that one. Purdue and Virginia Tech are still delayed in Blacksburg. We got a 31-7 game now in Boulder. Coach Prime and the Buffs putting it on Nebraska. My
Super
goodness.
Athletic play from Shador, running out of bounds, gets a throw, late hit, and still across the field.
And if you see the full play, he was avoiding a sack.
Ooh, there you go. That's the angle.
Yeah, that's the angle. It looks like it did touch the ground.
It's probably not going to be a catch.
Was that for a touchdown?
For a touchdown,
That was for a touchdown, so it'll be coming back. So.
Well, it's 31-7 on my scoreboard.
Yeah, so it won't be so calling on the field, passing complete. Yeah, they just overturned
Okay.
it.
All right.
Okay, Clip.
Yo. What we got?
We have one Chandler Honeycutt on the line.
The number one Clemson hater. And we got to take a break, so we'll get you for a quick second here. Chandler, update from Death Valley. Charleston Southern 14, Clemson 7. What do you think?
All I have to say is, oh, man. C-L-E-M-S-O-N. What a joke. Bye, y'all.
All right. Short and sweet.
And to the point.
That's how you do it on the fifth quarter, by the way, folks. That's a great example of a good call on the fifth quarter. Short and to the point. Chandler is living it up right now. Clemson is driving. They're at the 34 of Charleston Southern as they play 2:30 left to go first quarter. And Charleston Southern up 14-7 on those Clemson Tigers. We'll take a break, come back, have hour 4 of the Bud Light pregame tailgate for you when we return after this.
Familia is your go-to spot for the best Italian dishes around, including pizzas, pastas, salads, and homemade desserts.
That's Familia.
Enjoy half-off wine night on Wednesdays, $3 drafts on Thursdays, or get a pizza of the week for just $12.
That's Familia.
Place your order online or call 689-6330, and Familia will have your order ready in their drive-thru window for pickup.
That's Familia.
Clip, really?
Oh, sorry.
Familia on Fire Tower Road in Winterville near Pitt Community College.
What do I like about being a local agent for Farm Bureau Insurance? Above all, I like helping people. Using my insurance experience to make Pirate Country a better, safer place. Insurance is a necessity, and I take pride in helping people find the right coverage for all their needs. I'm Brandon Manning. Call me at 252-531-1812 for a quick auto, home, or life insurance quote, and to learn more about Farm Bureau Insurance and how they can save you time and money. That's Brandon Manning at 252-531-1812.
Do you have any real estate questions about buying or selling residential or commercial properties? Are you curious about this current real estate market? Do you need a property manager for all your rental houses? This is proud ECU alum Scott Harris with RE/MAX Preferred Realty and SD Harris Properties, and I would love to help answer every question you have and show you a real estate experience that will be memorable and enjoyable. Every step of the way, I'm here to make your dreams a stress-free reality. Call me today at 347-1857. That's 347-1857. Go Pirates.
Get ready for tailgate season at Shimmer Boutique. Locally owned and operated, Shimmer has the best selection of game day apparel and accessories for ladies. And gentlemen, Shimmer has a newly restocked wide selection of t-shirts with brands like Local Boy, Old South, Southern Fried Cotton, and the newest edition, Pimp Shrimp. Shimmer has everything you need this fall. They carry the largest selections of Yetis and Hey Dudes and more. Be ready for game day and every day at Shimmer Boutique with locations in Greenville, Winterville, and Jacksonville. Go Pirates!
360 Golf Carts is Pitt County's go-to shop for all things golf carts. They have easy-go, club car, and utility carts to choose from. Whether it's for the beach, riding around the neighborhood, or working in the yard, 360 Golf Carts has the perfect ride for you. If you have issues with your current cart, take it by the 360 shop for an expert's diagnosis. From parts to sales to service, 360 has you covered. They will even deliver right to you. Visit Brian Harris today on Highway 43, just past D.H. Conley High School. 360 Golf Carts, Pirates supporting Pirates.
Where is their live music every night? Where is the place to watch football with the biggest TV in Greenville? Where is their live bands every Friday and Saturday night with the best bartenders and drinks in town? Located at Bell's Fork, we're open every day until 2 a.m. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for all up-to-date info. And we will see you at the Buck. Go Pirates!
This is Talbot Green with Integrity Home Mortgage. Are you ready and pre-approved if the home you want to purchase comes for sale today? This is a very important step when trying to purchase a home in the current market. Integrity Home Mortgage offers a wide variety of loan programs. Our team of Talbot Green, Braxton Green, and Joanne Weir has over 50 years of experience and is committed to providing you with the superior customer service you deserve.
To get started, call me, Braxton Green, at 526-8260.
Braxton Green, NMLS 222-3878. For informational purposes only, Integrity Home Mortgage Corporation is an equal housing lender, NMLS 208-516.
While you're sleeping, our whole hogs are slow cooking over wood to create that bite that Eastern North Carolina is known for. I'm Sam Jones, and for more than 3 generations, my folks have been the torchbearers for what whole hog barbecue is supposed to be. At Sam Jones, you'll find plenty of smoke, but no mirrors. Everything, and I mean everything, is made fresh daily, including our sides, sweets, and sauces. Come on over and see us at Sam Jones Barbecue, and I bet you'll be able to taste our passion in just one bite. Sam Jones Barbecue, Fire Tower Road.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 at 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington.
Well, I come from a little bit homegrown small town. Smoky Mountain's a nice place to hang around. Moonshine, and that's where they make it. Put it in a jump, makes you want to get naked. But I jumped on a Greyhound bus.
You're listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate on Pirate Radio. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Hey, don't forget, you can watch all of Pirate Radio's local programming on YouTube Live. You can watch Pirate Radio Live Monday through Friday from 3 until 6 p.m. And, of course, you're watching the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate on YouTube right now. And, of course, you can watch the U.S. Cellular fifth quarter immediately following the game. Go to YouTube, search Pirate Radio TV, click on that subscribe link, and also click the like button while you're at it. And heading back in to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate, here is your host, Clip Brock.
All right, I'm jealous of this kid that I see on Twitter. He's getting a Bobby Pettiford autograph on his arm.
No way.
Why can't that be me? And I'm not saying me as a kid. I'm saying me as a 41-year-old getting a Bobby Pettiford. Hey,
then you got to go and get it tattooed.
Yeah. Can somebody give me a Brandon Johnson autograph? If you're around the stadium, can you?
I'm in a class with BJ.
Hey, tell him I'm your little cousin or something. Don't tell him I'm an old man.
Tell him Clip sent you.
We've had conversations. He said he wants to come on.
No, he didn't.
I'm being completely serious. He's in my class. We're in a group project.
He does not seem like much of a talker. In fact, I've seen him smile one time.
Yeah, I mean, he's not much of a talker, but like he's seen clips and stuff like that. And he told me he talked to Micah Dennis about it too. So
yeah, all right, let's get him.
I can work on it.
All right, I love some Brandon Johnson.
There you go.
Ready for some Pirate hoops, ready for some Pirate football today, and excited. I said it earlier this week, Marcus, I can't wait for that first third down.
Yeah, it's going to be key.
I'm telling, and the crowds
for our defense.
For the defense, and we're loud.
Yeah.
And we get off the field, and everybody's dancing and celebrating. That's fun times at Dowdy Ficklen Stadium.
It really is. It's you know what, man? Overall, I think it's one of the tougher places to play as far as being the away team. Coming in here to Dowdy Ficklen, and the crowd getting up to capacity will be great. To present that electrifying atmosphere that Dustin was talking about as well.
Yeah, and that's on us. That's on the people in the stands to get loud when Marshall has the football. Let's try to win a football game today. All right, hour 4 of the Bud Light pregame tailgate. Shirley, see if we can connect with Bailey. Told him we might be giving him a call here in the final hour and see if he's around the stadium. We'll try that. We'll hear from Blake Harrell in a little bit, maybe some Marlon Gunn, Brian North later on this hour. We got to make our fantasy picks as well.
We also need to do Bailey's Pirate preview.
Well, I'll tell you what, as you hook up with Bailey, you want to hit the Pirate preview?
Yeah, sure.
Hit that. Good call, Shirley.
The Pirate Preview, brought to you by Papa John's. Your MVP for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza. Now with your Papa John's Pirate Preview. Here's Brian Bailey.
East Carolina and Marshall will be forever linked by the events just after the Pirates' 17-14 win in Greenville back on November the 14th, 1970. Here's how it sounded.
This is CBS News. Shock and sorrow mingle on Marshall University campus following death and plane crash of most of school's football team. Good morning, this is Steve Young, CBS News. Shock and sorrow have descended upon the town of Huntington, West Virginia, following the crash of a Southern Airways DC-9 jet, which took the lives of 73 people, including 48 players, staff, and coaches of the Marshall University football team.
It still gives you cold chills to think about it. The Pirates have honored that team with a plaque by the visitors' entrance at Dowdy Ficklen Stadium. Pirate coach Mike Houston on the history of East Carolina and Marshall.
The thing I take away from it is just, these two programs and these two universities are linked by the tragedy of the plane crash. The rivalry between the two schools is always going to be linked closely. I think that adds, a lot of emotion to everything. And I think this game is always going to be one that's just highly competitive and just has a lot of, things around it that add to it. And, I think this is one of those games that, you hope the two universities find a way to continue playing moving forward. I think it's a good regional matchup for both teams.
As for the game, the Pirates will likely use both Mason Garcia and Alex Flynn at quarterback again this week. Pirate offensive coordinator Donnie Kirkpatrick with his thoughts on the matter.
We talk every day, and we kind of go back and forth, I guess, a little bit. But what I've said time and time is right now I think we need both guys. I think we need both guys, and sometimes we may have to go to the bullpen, and we may just have to do whatever because it's a win business. And, they're no different than the left guard. You know what I'm saying? When the tight end, everybody has to go earn what they get, and the quarterbacks are no different. And I think the players respect that.
The last time these two hooked up, the Pirates scored 21 points in the fourth quarter to win the game and turn that season around. It's East Carolina and Marshall, the Pirates and the Thundering Herd at 4 o'clock in the home opener. With the Papa John's Pirate Preview, I'm Brian Bailey for the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate.
All right, BB with the Papa John's Pirate Preview, and the tragedy links these schools together. The amazing games that they've played link these schools together. We talked to Steve Cotton earlier this week, and he talked about East Carolina and Marshall have played, I think, like 25% of Marshall's overtime games in school history. I think we've had like 4 overtime games, Marcus, with these Thundering Herd. We've had some back and forth ones, some really fun ones. So looking forward to another one of those today at Dowdy Ficklen Stadium.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it with, the explosiveness possibly of their running back Ali and seeing how we're going to handle that or handle them in the rush game. And seeing how we bounce back offensively, I think is going to be important as far as this being a very pivotal game in regards to going forward.
We've got a pivotal play coming up here. It is Baylor 13, Utah 6. Inside of 2 minutes, got a 3rd and goal coming up for Utah as Baylor, the 7-point dog, trying to hang on. They have gone to a timeout here. So we'll look at some other scores. Wake Forest up 27-14 on Vandy in the 3rd quarter. Notre Dame still holding a 10-0 lead over NC State as they play in the 2nd quarter. Colorado pouring it on Nebraska 29-7.
Who have made a quarterback change as well.
Sims out.
Sims is out, and they've got, funny enough, the younger brother of Brock Purdy, Chuba Purdy, I think is his name. And he
Hold on. There's no way Brock's younger brother's name is Chuba.
Right? That's his name, Shirley, right? What's his name?
Chuba or Chubba or something.
Chuba or Chubba. It's like his first throw, it almost threw it right into the DN. So
Okay. I got to look this up. Nebraska. Chubba.
Chubba.
Chubba Purdy. Okay.
All right. Quarterbacking is in the genes, at least.
He was born Preston Purdy. Oh, Chubba. That's an interesting name. All right. 3:30 window of games. By the way, James Matt, and now we got another delay. 4th delay, or 5th delay. This time in Charlottesville. James Madison and Virginia are delayed. Looks like Georgia Tech and South Carolina State are still delayed from way earlier. Clemson has tied it, and they're about to take the lead. They got it 2nd and goal at the 5-yard line, so they are about to take the lead over Charleston Southern, it appears, unless they do what they did against Duke and fumble every time they get in the red zone.
Oh,
that happened last week.
Yeah.
UNLV about to take on Michigan at 3:30. That one on CBS. Ole Miss Tulane, Michael Pratt, a game-time decision as he is dealing with an injury. They are fired up down there in Nolans, but if they're without their starting quarterback, that's going to be a huge blow, obviously, to Tulane's chances to pull the upset, although both of those teams pretty close in the standings, in the rankings. Tulane 24th, Ole Miss 20th, but Ole Miss is an 8-point favorite in that game. You got the U and A&M coming up, Iowa State, all those games coming up at 3:30. East Carolina Marshall, 4 o'clock kickoff on ESPNU. We will be with you next week. Is that a 3:30 game, gang?
It is.
Okay, we'll be with you at 11:30 on the Bud Light pregame tailgate, getting you ready for East Carolina and Appalachian State. And I believe we've got Marcus and Jason and crew signed up for another watch party.
Yes, indeed.
Next week. Man. So we'll be in here watching.
We had a blast.
Yeah.
Got to do it again.
We're going to run it back coming up here in a couple of weeks. So looking forward to that. All right, let's... Shirley, can we hear from ECU running back Marlon Gunn? Let's hear what Marlon Gunn had to say earlier this week.
Marlon, coming out of the Michigan game, what do you feel like offensively y'all learned? What can y'all improve from?
I feel like we just had to cut like most of the penalties down and just focus on like the mistakes that we made, like try to work on those going into this next game. Because Michigan game is like, pretty much beat ourselves, like it was more things that we could have worked on and, like drop balls, just everything. So I feel like, just get back to the drawing board and just watch that film and just learn from it.
How was it like playing in the big house?
It was a good experience. Like, never played in front of that many people in my life. So it was a good experience overall.
Going into the game, we knew what you and Rajay brought to the table, but we've heard a lot about J.V. Spahn in the off-season. How do you think he played in his first game?
I feel like his first game, he showed up. Like, he was ready. He had, not many mistakes, but, if he did have mistakes, his freshman mistakes, so we could always correct those. But I feel like he did, a real good job, a real good job.
Home opener this weekend. You ready?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ready. I'm ready to see the Dow to get rocking, man.
I think there was about as much 20 personnel in that game this past week as there was all of last year. Do you guys kind of like being in the backfield together in 20, 21 personnel?
Yeah, I feel like 20 personnel, you never know who's going to get the ball. And if you have two weapons in the back, then it's going to confuse them because they don't know which way to go. And so we could play a lot of that and beat people like that.
Did you feel more comfortable just having another, a year under your belt playing last week?
Yes, sir. I felt like more experience and, being that I've already, they don't matter the team we play. I feel like being that I've already, been in some of those situations, I knew, what to do, and when to do it.
You as a backfield, y'all showed some flashes Saturday, but there wasn't a ton of running room, so y'all looking forward to playing more games to really show off how good this backfield can be.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're definitely working on that. We're going to be right.
How much does that competition, kind of drive y'all? Because really, I know Coach Houston feels like y'all have 3-4 starting running backs.
It helps us, and we help each other, Nobody, our running back room is huge, so it's just like everybody want to see everybody win. Like, nobody's like, if I go, I'm like, okay, I'm coming behind you. What you see, let me know what you see. If I go, then Jay Bun come, he like, what you see. We helping each other as the game go on.
Is there a feeling that you have, when it is your time on the field, like you have to make something happen, like just because it is split, between 3-4 guys?
Right. You have to take advantage of every opportunity to get, because being that those holes were closing so fast, it's like, it's only so much you could do. So it's just like, you just got to do what you got to do.
Marlon, it seemed like y'all ran a lot more gap schemes and zone schemes. Is that something new for the offense this year, just kind of with Coach Mo, or is that a running back thing you kind of brought up?
I'll probably say more of a Coach Mo thing. He kind of changed the way offensive line blocked, so it just, opened up more for us as running backs, and we see more.
Do you like the power as opposed to the zone? Are you a downhill guy, or you like to get on the outside?
Downhill guy. Get out my way.
What's your favorite part of game day? As you get ready to do this first game of the year, what's your favorite part?
Pregame warm-up. Like, I just like to go out there and just get my mind right. Just play some music and just think about, see myself making these plays and different things like that.
What's on the playlist? Music?
Oh, Lil Boosie, all automatic.
Lil Boosie on the playlist. I love Gunn saying downhill, get out of my way. Got some power, got some thud to him and Rajay, and then you add the speed to Javius Bond, and they all complement each other very well back there, Marcus.
Yeah, absolutely. You could definitely, like you said, you're going to see the downhill probably more with him and Rajay, and then with the other two, more zone schemes. That's where that comes from. And then, I think again, it's running back by committee. Those guys definitely have to be prepared to step in and be ready when the number's called, right? Like you sit on the sidelines, and you definitely have to be into the ball game. You can't be on the sidelines and worrying about what's going on in the stands and all those things, or talking to someone else who's not playing, especially being at home, because there's more guys on the field. And so you got to stay involved. You got to know what's going on, the situations of the game, and from the sounds of it, they do a good job at it, of that.
Well, nothing's ever easy. Sweating out a Baylor +7 now, because Utah has just tied it up. So Baylor's going to have a chance here inside of 2 minutes to try to put together a drive. But this one looks like it could be heading to overtime there in Waco. Let's take a break. We'll come back, hear a little bit of Blake Harrell, talk some defense. Brian North going to join us, more with Marcus Crandall, as we are with you hour 4 of the Bud Light pregame tailgate, fueled by Warren's Hot Dogs today. Have the great hot dogs. What kind did you get, Marcus?
I got the mild chili.
How was it?
Yeah, it was good.
I like it. Great taste, right?
Yes, indeed. Absolutely.
I went with a hot one earlier all the way, and also a little bit of the sub. They got the club sub in there with everything on it, so good stuff. Yeah. Thanks to Warren's Hot Dogs for the awesome pregame spread. Take a timeout, come back, have more for you on the Bud Light pregame tailgate. We roll on after this.
Bud Light was brewed to be delicious and easy to drink beer, even when little things in life are hard, like when you're working late and happy hour has already started, but you're about to clock out and head over. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local retailer today. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Once you get the meat and cheese for your sub freshly sliced right in front of you at Jersey Mike's, I'll tell you, there's no going back to anything else. That'd be like going back to dial-up internet. Am I connecting to space to order Jersey Mike's? Any day now. Okay, it's about to connect. What? Who picked up the phone? Nope, there's no going back once you see it freshly sliced at Jersey Mike's. a sub above.
Looking for a hometown service in a hometown atmosphere? Look no further than G.W. Walker & Sons in downtown Washington. Randy and Carolyn Walker will work with you to make your home renovations come to life. At G.W. Walker & Sons, we offer a wide selection of flooring for your home, office, church, or school, along with expert installation. Stop by G.W. Walker & Sons at 203 West Main Street in downtown Washington, and let's start making those dreams come true. G.W. Walker & Sons, serving Eastern North Carolina since 1946. Go Pirates!
Kick off football season with everything you need at your CBD store. Their award-winning products are grown in the USA and tested for quality and safety. And their gummies are #1 in the world. CBD can help with sleep, anxiety, pain, immunity, focus, and more. They even have products to help your pets. So stop by today to grab Delta 8 and 9 gummies, seltzers, THCA pre-rolls, flower and vapes, plus unique pirate gifts, jewelry, and accessories. Your CBD store, open 7 days a week at 420 East Arlington Boulevard. Go Pirates!
Hey Pirate Nation, Lindsay Gray here with Carolina Caliber. In 1960, my granddaddy started his firearm business right here in Eastern NC. Still family owned and operated, we have the area's largest selection for outdoor shooting sports and accessories and are one of the nation's top firearm dealers. At Carolina Caliber, we have everything you need from hunting, home defense, and personal protection, including a wide variety for ladies and youth. We buy, sell, and trade. It's a time-honored tradition. Visit us at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
Are you having a hard time participating in the activities you love due to pain? Well, then you need a good stretch or perhaps a massage. At Bodies and Balance, they offer massage therapy, assisted stretching, and Graston techniques to help provide solutions. With years of experience, the team at Bodies and Balance can create a stretch or massage program that is right for you. Mention Pirate Radio to get your first free stretch and your first massage for only $1 per minute. Call 916-4530 to get on the schedule, or you can visit them online at bodiesandbalance.com.
Hey, John, I see your new system's having issues already.
Yeah, I used the other guy with an AC brand I've never heard of.
You should have used Delcor, John. They install Train. It's hard to stop a train.
I know, but the other guy was cheaper.
Cheaper isn't better, John.
I know.
Don't use the other guy. Call Delcor. For a limited time, buy a new Train system and pay 0% interest for 12 months. Visit Delcor.com for more details. Delcor, the service professionals.
Attention athletes and fans. Tiebreakers is looking for all-stars. Do you know an athlete who made a game-winning play, scored an amazing touchdown, or hit a huge home run? We're scouting Eastern North Carolina for this month's most outstanding athlete. Go to tiebreakersathlete.com to nominate your favorite player for the prestigious Athlete of the Month award. Tiebreakers, shining a light on the athletes that make Eastern North Carolina proud. Submit your nomination now at tiebreakersathlete.com.
If you think football never ends, then you belong with us. Pirate Radio 1250 and 930, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
Come on, Craig!
You're listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate on Pirate Radio. Now back to the show. Now with the Pirate Radio scoreboard, here's Shirley Rhodes.
All right. Wake Forest has now extended their lead by 2 touchdowns. They lead Vanderbilt 27-14 in the third quarter. It is Georgia beating Ball State. That is now a final 45-3 was that score. Penn State wins it over Delaware 63-7. Army got a win. They are now 1-1 on the season as they beat Delaware State, shut them out actually. 57-0 was that score. In the second quarter, it's Notre Dame leading NC State 10-7. Colorado not really having a problem with Nebraska. It is 36-7. Colorado with about 3.5 minutes to go in that game. Kansas State beats Troy 42-13. It is Utah and Baylor tied at 13 apiece with about 1.5 minutes to go. Ohio State beat Youngstown State 35-7. And it is Clemson 21, Charleston Southern 14 in the second quarter. And James Madison in Virginia, that game has gone into a weather delay. Virginia was leading 35-24 in that game. And that is a look at your Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard, brought to you by the Buck. They have all the fun for your Sunday Fun Day covered. Every Sunday, kick off the day at the Buck, where they have the largest 4K screen in Greenville, along with 18 TVs, so you won't miss a game. They'll have mimosa specials, a Bloody Mary menu, and pizza all day from Pizza Hut. And don't forget the weekly jersey giveaway starting at 5 o'clock. Score every Sunday at the Buck. Now let's head back in to the Bud Light pregame tailgate. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, going to be a big one at the Buck tomorrow. It is Christmas Eve for some of us, getting ready for NFL Sunday Week 1 tomorrow, and we've got a triple header of games coming your way on Pirate Radio. 1 o'clock, Titans at Saints. Afternoon game is Packers-Bears. And then in the nightcap, Cowboys-Giants, all right here on Pirate Radio. What a triple header to get things going for the NFL season. I'm fired up for that. All right, we got Utah and Baylor. Baylor has dominated this entire game. Utah just drove down, got a score, and then on third down got a pick. And now they are trying to either get a touchdown or a field goal here. 1:26 left to go. Baylor's out of timeouts. And on this third down play, they're letting them score.
Gotta let them score.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
There's a flag.
Sorry.
Be holding.
It could be.
They did the old let them score.
It could be.
I think it might be coming back. Some people have Baylor.
Very, very interesting.
Some people have Baylor +7 here out there. It's holding. So now what do? Are they going to let them score again? All right, Coach, this is interesting. What do you think about that call to let them score so you get the ball back, Jason?
Man, I mean...
Oh, let me get your mic on.
How do you hold on
I know. That's a great question. Who's doing it?
Here's my thing about
back
this
there?
whole play.
Oh, they're going to call the guy up here. Okay.
Right here for the running back.
Well, he definitely held.
You know what
no
you really,
timeouts.
You know what you tell them to do? Go down.
Get down.
Yep. Go down.
Oh,
Don't score.
Yeah. But do you trust a college kicker? Like if you're Utah, I would take the touchdown here.
Well, I mean, this is where you learn your kicker and all those things that you do preseason before or from last year or whatever, and find out where he kicks the ball best. All right, and try to get that ball in that position. So
what a chess match here. So now Utah's going to call a timeout. So are they trying not to score and Baylor's trying to let them score? I mean, this is a fascinating situation here.
Well, see, if you let them score and you Baylor, you get the ball back, you got a chance. But if Utah goes down there and downs it on the 1 yard line, we can run out the clock.
Run out the entire clock.
And kick it and win the game and go home.
That's right.
Again, it's how much do you trust your kicking operation versus how much you trust your defense. If I'm Utah, and I don't know their kicking situation, but I definitely trust my defense if I'm Utah. But this is that is crazy. You got one guy really trying on the play, and he's holding.
He didn't get the memo.
But that defender was going to try to tackle him anyway.
Yeah.
What a weird situation. So now they're going to come out here, and it's a spot of the foul penalty, I guess, so because it's at 3rd and 4. They're just going to move it back 10 yards from there. So now are we going to see a replay?
I don't know. I think now, don't you got to kind of play it?
Try to stop them?
Yeah.
You got to stop them now because you're going to have a little bit of time left after this play.
I mean, because now if you got to think Utah just got coached up on the side and said, hey, go down.
You think, yeah.
You got to think they got coached up on that. That's something you go over in camp and for these type of situations just so you don't give them a chance to get the ball back.
Well, now it's going to be a longer field goal. Right, and so they are going to play to try to get a tackle for loss here and then make it an even longer field goal.
Correct.
And then you're still going to have, after this play, they're going to have some time on the clock afterwards. Because that's why they were trying to let them score, is to have as much time as possible on the offensive side.
Now, if you do stop them, the play will end about 1:14, and then you take another how much off the clock? 25 seconds after that?
Yeah.
So you'll be inside of a minute, 45 seconds when you get the ball back if you stop them here. So fascinating situation.
Indeed.
And I love talking to you guys about all the scenarios you run over in fall camp and things like that. You said this is one of those in the game situations.
Yeah, and it's man, It's communication, and
oh my
for
God!
me, here it goes
Tackle! All right, okay, this is good.
For me,
now,
like last year when I was at Livingstone College, it was probably the most challenging because we didn't have a lot of players there for game or for practice to start practice and go over those details and all of that, and so you got to rely on other people to communicate it and get it in the best way possible, and hope everybody get it. But it's very important, right? Very important.
Some guys are trying to let them score.
I know.
Some guys are tackling them.
And Utah just went hurry up offense here. I'm very confused. If I'm Baylor and I don't want this to happen, but I would let them score at this point.
You got to. I mean, look at the clock.
Yeah.
Look at the clock right now.
Why did Utah just go hurry up there? I don't understand that.
I don't know.
Because now they're taking all the time. This is very confusing.
Baylor is doing a terrible job if they're trying to let them score.
I think they're letting them score here.
They got to.
They're not.
Don't touch them.
You're right, Jason.
Don't touch them. Go down. See how he didn't score? Go down.
Oh.
Touchdown.
This is crazy.
He was unsure of what to do, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You had a guy running the entire 1 yard line, not trying to go in.
Yep.
He goes in. You're right, Jason. Half the guys on Baylor are not trying to do anything.
They're a couple of plays too late. Baylor is.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And this is going to end up being a push. Oh boy.
The betting world.
Yeah.
Point spreads.
Wow.
My blood pressure is,
he almost missed it.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. Football's awesome.
Wow.
Football's the
Gotta love
best.
it.
What a weird deal at the end of that one. Still 17 seconds left. Maybe something crazy can happen again. But it looks like Utah is going to get 14 points in the last 2 minutes to win this football game. So gutsy win on the road. As I think they went to their third quarterback. Their starter is out. I think they went to their third quarterback in this one. As you see the running back,
he was.
I mean, just get down if you don't want to score. What are you doing? Oh man!
Oh man!
Well, I tell you this. That's an innocent mistake unless they get this ball and they take it back for a touchdown.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, this could be a big deal. This is why you tell him,
Get down. Get down for sure.
Man, teams talk about winning the fourth quarter. How about 166-4 total yards in the fourth quarter, dominated by the Utes of Utah. And Dave Aranda.
They seem like that kind of team that, kind of wear you down over the course of the game. And then, you have numbers like this towards the end or in the fourth quarter.
What's up, big dog? Can't hear you.
Has anybody told you what a bottle of water goes for today in Dowdy Ficklen Stadium?
No.
What is your guess?
$4.
You are half off. $7.55.
Wow.
That new practice facility ain't going to build itself.
Wow.
All right.
Help us out.
Yeah. Every dollar counts, even when you're buying a nice cold bottle of H2O at Dowdy Ficklen Stadium.
I just saw that reported by Davis Searcy. I took that as a legit source.
Maybe.
A man that goes to many games.
Yeah, he wouldn't lie. So
he's at least at the game. We know that.
Probably already purchased
He had purchased that water, apparently.
for sure.
It was less than happy with it and took to the timeline.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go screen here, and that ain't doing much. So Utah is going to end up beating Baylor 20-13 unless a miracle happens. Looking at some other scores before we take a break. Let's take a look. What's NC State and Notre Dame doing? 17-7. Notre Dame on top of NC State. So the Wolfpack did get on the board. Is Colorado final yet? Colorado. Oh my God! Oh, he's got 1 second.
Wow.
1 second. No, give him 1 second.
It is
1 second.
1 second.
Oh my goodness!
Well, I tell you.
How did Utah? Man, these teams.
How do you let him behind you at that point?
How?
I mean, it is.
And him, he just got to get out of bounds right away.
I know.
Like,
hopefully he was able to see that in the
Oh, my goodness.
How did this guy get behind everybody?
If you can't score right now,
get out of bounds.
1.
He got it 1 second.
Come on, hometown.
1 second.
Get my hometown.
It's 1 second.
1 second. Foot touch. There's still a second on that clock.
What a dumb game.
Oh, my goodness,
This is unreal.
They're going to have one shot here.
That's why you go down for that running back.
Yep.
That's why you go down. You take that away right there, man. Wow.
Oh, that is...
And I was just thinking of the Doug Flutie Hail Mary. That's what they were trying to get closer to do. But, man, this is something different right here.
Nah, they can call a real play.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got a bunch of delays going on. We got Charleston Southern kicks a field goal, so they trail Clemson 21-17. As Jason, you were saying off the air, Clemson's struggles have gone into week 2, it looks like.
Listen, if Charleston Southern wasn't your get-right game, I don't know if you're going to have one.
And guess what? They got Florida State coming up very soon, later this month. So they're reviewing the time in Waco. Let's take a break, Shirley. We'll come back. We'll see if we can hook up with Brian North and have more for you on the Bud Light pregame tailgate and the conclusion of this wacky one in Waco. Utah up 20-13. More to go after this.
The Sidebar is the place to be this football season in downtown Greenville. Get your team together for dinner on the patio or inside starting at 5:30 Tuesday through Saturday. Or take a break from work and enjoy the tastiest foods around for lunch Thursday through Saturday from 11:30 to 2:30. And on Sundays, enjoy a delicious fall brunch from 11 to 2. Make your reservation today by calling 751-0151. Follow The Sidebar on Facebook or on Instagram at sidebar.greenville for more details. Go Pirates!
With U.S. Cellular, it's just $19.99 per line for 1, 2, or 3 lines. So you don't need that robot daughter you built to get a 4th line for family plan pricing.
Oh, Robe Elizabeth? She's not gonna like that.
The robots will prevail.
Oh boy.
Get the low rate of $19.99 per line. U.S. Cellular, built for us. Terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
Get 1, 2, or 3 lines for $19.99 per line right now at Atlantic Wireless, your U.S. Cellular authorized agent in Bellhaven, Snow Hill, and 3 locations in Greenville.
Are you ready to fall into beauty? Mark your calendar for October 2nd through the 6th to take advantage of the savings on all of Beauty Bar Medi Spa's services and products. Don't wait for the sale. Save time and money by scheduling your free consultation now. You can trust the licensed professionals at Beauty Bar Medi Spa for amazing and natural looking results. Schedule your free consultation today and mark your calendar to fall into beauty October 2nd through the 6th. BeautyBarMedispa.com, Greenville.
UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory of ECU merchandise and tailgate supplies ever. UBE has the best prices in town, so that makes UBE your one-stop shop for all things ECU. UBE does daily restocks of Champion, Adidas, and Under Armour. Don't forget to bring your young Pirates to plunder the Crow's Nest, which is the only kids store dedicated to ECU. Plenty of free parking in Uptown Greenville. Visit them online at PirateWear.com. Go Pirates!
It's hard to forget how hot it gets around here in the summer. Remember, the hotter it is outside, the harder your AC has to work to keep it cool inside. And the more energy it uses to keep you cool, the higher your utility bill will be. Your neighbors at GUC have tips to help you reduce your energy use, such as using fans to cool you down inside and cooking outside when you can in the summer. For more tips, go to GUC.com and look for ways to save.
When it comes to toughness on the field, the ECU Pirates are second to none. The same holds true for quality equipment. Our lineup of agriculture, lawn, garden, and commercial worksite equipment brings legendary toughness and reliability to any task, and quality makes them easy to own with low monthly payments. Get it done right. Stop by one of our 36 locations or visit us online at QualityEquip.com. Proud sponsors of ECU Pirates football.
Here at Brown & Wood with Jeff Stahn. Jeff, I've noticed a lot of great GMC pickup trucks on the lot.
Yes, sir. We have 2500s and 1500s in stock in the all-new 3.0 Duramax diesel. We earn 30 extra trucks on allocation, so go online, brownandwood.com, or stop in, build your truck, we'll get it coming for you. Brown & Wood, voted #1 by the customer in Greenville 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 rooftops, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
What's even better than going to Jimmy John's? The great taste of Jimmy John's coming to you. Check out their convenient catering bundle, including a 12-pack of half sandwiches made with fresh baked bread, hand-sliced meats, and fresh veggies, plus 2 premium sides, 15 chips, and 15 desserts, all for one great price. You can also choose an a la carte option. Pick it up, or they'll set it up for you. And don't forget Jimmy John's loyalty app with a free sandwich after your first visit. Jimmy John's in Greenville and Wilson, and online at jimmyjohns.com.
This is Coach Blake Carroll, defensive coordinator for East Carolina football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate on Pirate Radio. Now back to the show.
All right, welcome back. And if you missed the show on Pirate Radio, you can listen to all of Pirate Radio's archived local programming by subscribing to us wherever you get podcasts. Subscribe today by going to the podcast app on your phone, or you can go online at pr927fm.com. Now let's head back into the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. Here is your host, Clip Rock.
All right, the last 2 minutes of that Utah-Baylor game will be shown. The video will be shown at all, like, the coaching clinics from here, like, just
no.
decisions to make, and that was wild.
No, it's going to be comical, and I'll tell you why. Because if you go back and watch, well, no, you can't because we went to commercial break, but watching Clip lose his mind over here was actually quite entertaining.
All that for a push. But it's not a loss.
It was just a push?
Yeah, it's
not
not a loss.
Oh, my gosh. I can't even imagine what you would do if you lost.
Well, should have been a win, but I'll take a push. A push is as good as a win. All right, Marcus Crandall, Jason Nichols here in the Pirate Radio studios. We got BB on the field at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium. Bailey, what's up?
We're getting ready for football. That's the truth. I tell you what, though, the skies do not look good. You know those days where you kind of look around, you're like, is a thunderstorm coming? Well, that's what it looks like right now because there are dark skies to the behind the press box at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium. The rest of it looks pretty clear. Some clouds rolling in, but I tell you what, Drew Seals here, ladies and gentlemen, so he's over here shaking my hand. But it just looks like one of those days that we're going to have some weather issues at some point in this game, but hopefully not. I tell you, it hadn't cooled off any yet, though.
Well, they had good tailgate weather. We'll see what happens during the game. Bailey, how you feeling as you watch the warm-ups, you see the crowd filing in? You still thinking a good day for the Pirates today?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, again, it comes down to whether or not the Pirates can run the football, and I think the offensive line, I think they held their own against a really good Michigan team last week, and I think they'll get a chance this week to show what they can do, and they just got to, if they run the football and get the quarterback, whoever it is, in there some confidence, I think they'll have a good day.
All right, BB, any players next to you that are going to have a big game? That's worked in the past.
No, but the trombone player looks like he's going to have a good day, so.
All right, there you go.
The band's right here.
The band's fired up.
The players are off the field now, yeah.
BB, enjoy the game, man.
All right, man, take care. We'll see.
There is Brian Bailey. We got to make our fantasy picks here. We'll see if we can track down Brian North before we do that. Wild ending there between Utah and Baylor as we track the scores here on the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. How about Coach Prime and Colorado getting it done again today? And I hate to say it, but I'm a sucker. I want to hear that post-game press conference. I want to hear what Dion has to say.
I told you we're coming.
I mean,
I told you we're coming.
It's crazy.
Didn't I tell you?
It's crazy what he's doing over there, and I'm glad, man. Shout out to AJ. I want my coffee Tuesday on my desk.
Oh, you won a little bit there.
Yes.
Way to go, buddy. Congratulations.
I'm one of those that said he was going to do good before all this. Yeah. And I don't know how many people have said that, but I was all for
Dion's
him
got your receipt.
taking
Don't
the
worry
jump.
about it.
No, I ain't worried about the receipt. I'm just talking about, man.
Why are you wearing a shirt that says "I told you so"?
I know. I told you we were coming. No, that says East Carolina.
Colorado State next week, guys. After that, Oregon and USC. So you win next week, it sets up 2 huge weeks for the Buffs.
Well, I mean, they're already 2 games, a game more than they won last year, right?
Yeah, they've already beat their win total from last year. All right, let's head out to the Pirate Radio Live line. Brian North joining us. North, how you doing, man?
Doing great. Got
got Luke Schwartz here, introducing them to everybody. We just had a Schwartz on Schwartz meeting with Michael Schwartz, the basketball coach, so sound good.
All right, there you go. Schwartz on Schwartz. North, how you feeling about ECU's chances today against the Thunder and Herd?
Take the money and run. Put it all in the Pirates. Pay your mortgage off next week, and I think you're good. I just like, I don't know. Am I the only one who just thinks ECU's going to kill them? Is anybody else saying that? I just like the way their defense is playing. If they can get some good, competent quarterback play, I don't think they have to be lights out. I just have this feeling that ECU defense is going to create havoc, and that's going to help ECU roll easily in this one. That's just my gut feeling, but I had some weird stuff to eat last night.
Yeah, I got to say, I haven't heard that take much, Brian, and I think a lot of reasons why is the unknown at quarterback. But it sounds like you're putting it on the defense and saying they lead the way, and the offense does just enough here to do it as well.
Yeah, look, they got to figure out a quarterback, and again, I'm making bold statements here, but am I the only one in the room that says everybody kind of thinks Matt Flynn might be the guy, and let's just go with him because you can win with the weapons he has around him. He knows how to manage the game a little bit better. I know Mason Garcia has all the talent in the world, and he can do some incredible things, but just the way a Mike Houston offense is set up, I kind of feel like they need to make the choice of Flynn getting the nod and just letting him go and let him run the offense and not be spectacular, but just do what you got to do and win games.
Well, you are the only one saying Matt Flynn because he got all that money from Seattle.
I heard that.
But
kicking at me again.
But Alex Flynn could be the guy. North says, hey, look, we'll probably
starter. I would know his name better.
North, enjoy the game. Show Luke the way, and we'll talk to you again soon, man.
We all make mistakes, North.
All right, there he is, Brian North at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium, getting ready for. He likes the Pirates in a rout.
I hope so.
I'm hoping as well. Did see some news as we got a video here of Elijah Morris not in pads. So during the pregame, he's walking off with his teammates not in shoulder pads. So that's a bit of a blow for your defensive line, obviously, but that's your deepest spot on this team. So next man up on that D-line for ECU.
Yeah, has to be the mentality.
Yeah, I think they're going to be key to this game, actually, in regards to, stopping the run just as they did last week.
You mentioned Ali earlier.
Yes, absolutely. He's a guy. He's a force, man, and so we got to make sure we contain him. But not only that, I think we did an outstanding job of making J.J. McCarthy move around in the pocket last week. We got to find a way to do the same with this quarterback because he's pretty elusive as well, and he's a lefty and all of that. And but not only make a move, but make that play to where we get those sacks and make the those third downs and sevens, make them 3rd and 17.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we had last week.
And pin those ears back. Big day
absolutely.
For Jeremy Lewis, for Jack Powers. Those guys getting after the quarterback and making some plays. All right, let's take our final break. We'll come back. We'll do fantasy picks. Our winner from last week isn't even here, so Chandler will not make a pick this week. But he won with Jalen Johnson in week 1. We'll see who we got in week 2 and wrap it up and head over to the stadium. Great color coordination by Marcus, Jason, and I. I got the purple, Marcus with the gold, Jason in the white.
Yes, sir.
We got them all covered. I like it. And Joey, if you roll with us, you got the black.
Absolutely.
You might have to roll with us.
We're synchronized over here in Pirate Radio.
All right, we'll take our final break, come back, and wrap it up after this.
You know texting while driving is dangerous. That's not new information. Yet most people admit to doing it anyway. Drivers are 23 times more likely to be involved in a car accident while texting. Know the facts and wait to text. The danger is real and it applies to you. Auto Owners Insurance. The no problem people. Information provided by Virginia Tech Transportation Institute.
This is Brian Smith with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Taylor from Fleet Feet, making sure you have the best and most comfortable shoes this tailgate season. Locally owned and operated by ECU alums Chris and Kendra Lunyon, Fleet Feet of Greenville provides solutions through one-on-one services to runners, walkers, and everyone in between. Fleet Feet has the tools and technology to get you in the right shoes, including a 3D foot scanner that measures arch height, width, and more. Come see us at 207 East Arlington Boulevard in the old Gordon's Golf and Ski location. Fleet Feet, we run for you.
What's up, Pirate Nation? Kyle Gaines here at Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Washington, North Carolina. Letting you know about our huge selection of pre-owned vehicles, certified vehicles, vehicles for every budget, starting at $799 and up. And don't forget, we have all your off-road accessories here with our Washington off-road packages. So bring your Jeep, Ram, or other maker model, and we will take care of your accessories for you. Also, check us out online at WashingtonCDJR.com. Remember, drive a little, save a lot. Go Pirates.
I'm Caleb Stroud, the founder of Stroud's Marine. I grew up on the water and I've loved boating my entire life. In 2012, I decided to give back to the marine community by creating a way for boaters to order pre-owned salvage marine parts online. Stroud's Marine was born to offer incredible prices and unparalleled customer service. We stand behind every part we sell, and our mission is to save you money and get you back on the water as quickly as possible. Visit StroudsMarine.com today for more information. Stroud's Marine, your best source for salvage outboard parts.
This is Talbot Green with Integrity Home Mortgage. Are you ready and pre-approved if the home you want to purchase comes for sale today? This is a very important step when trying to purchase a home in the current market. Integrity Home Mortgage offers a wide variety of loan programs. Our team of Talbot Green, Braxton Green, and Joanne Weir has over 50 years of experience and is committed to providing you with the superior customer service you deserve.
To get started, call me, Joanne Weir, at 531-1148.
Joanne Weir, in MLS 75974. For informational purposes only, Integrity Home Mortgage Corporation is equal housing lender in MLS 208516.
Hey you. Yeah, you. Have you heard? Greenville Auto World is under new ownership and is now part of the DriveHereNow.com network. DriveHereNow.com is run by local people who buy, service, detail, and sell everything directly to you. Greenville Auto World is now the 5th dealership to join the DriveHereNow.com network. Get car shopping today at DriveHereNow.com and choose a location near you. DriveHereNow.com, serving Eastern North Carolina for over 47 years and proud supporter of the Pirates.
I'm Sam Jones, and for more than 3 generations, my folks have kept the fires burning for Eastern North Carolina Whole Hog Barbecue. At Sam Jones, you'll find our smokehouse pumping out wood-fired meats, cooked fresh every single day. There are no freezers at our place. Everything, and we mean everything, is made fresh daily, including our sides, sweets, and sauces. Stop in and see us, and I bet you'll be able to taste our passion in just one bite. At Sam Jones Barbecue, you'll find plenty of smoke, but no mirrors.
Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local and print it local with University Sportswear. University Sportswear is your one-stop shop to help promote your business and always provide superior customer service. No matter what apparel you need for your team or customers, University Sportswear can make it happen. Visit universitysportswearenc.com for contact information. University Sportswear, the official sportswear provider of Pirate Radio. Go Pirates!
This is former ECU football player Bryce Williams, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
Listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate on Pirate Radio. Now back to the show. Now with the Pirate Radio scoreboard, here's Shirley Rhodes.
All right, let's take a look one last time at your scoreboard. Wake Forest leads Vanderbilt 33-14 with about 9 minutes to go in that game. NC State trailing Notre Dame 17-7 in the third quarter. Georgia Tech leading South Carolina State 14-0 after a weather delay. They get ready to go to halftime. Clemson leading Charleston Southern 24-17. BYU with a 6-3 lead over Southern Utah in the second quarter. And it is Iowa State and Iowa underway in the first quarter. No score as of yet. Ole Miss and Tulane tied at 7 apiece in the first quarter. That is your Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard, brought to you by The Buck. They have all the fun for your Sunday Fun Day covered. You can kick off the day at The Buck with the largest 4K screen in Greenville, along with 18 TVs, so you don't miss a single game. They'll have mimosa specials, a Bloody Mary menu, and pizza all day from Pizza Hut. And don't forget the weekly jersey giveaway starting at 5 o'clock. Score every Sunday at The Buck. Now let's head back in to the Bud Light pregame tailgate. Here's Clip.
Back with you, Pirate Bud Light pregame tailgate. Sorry. We've got a bit of an issue, gang. For those trying to watch it on TV, all these delays means games are running long, and the game on ESPNU is James Madison, Virginia, and that game is still going on, but it's in a delay. So I don't know where they're going to throw ECU and Marshall on. Maybe get your ESPN Plus ready or something. Maybe ESPN News. I don't know, but if we find out, we'll pass it along on social media. But TV could be an issue. We are going to get out of here so we can head over to the stadium. But first, let's get to our fantasy picks. I pulled up the random number generator. Today's order will be Marcus, Clip, Jason, Shirley, Joey.
Jeez.
Yeah, sorry, gang.
I am bringing up the rear today.
I felt like I had to stick the intern at the end, but all right, cool.
I'm number one again.
You had the second pick last week.
Give you a chance.
You complain about everything. You
Well,
are.
don't.
You're what's wrong with this generation. All right, moving on. Marcus, who's your pick?
Well, I have normally in this type of game, possibly in the run, probably go with the running back, but I'm going to go outside of that. And I'm going to go Jalen Johnson. I think he's going to have another solid game for himself.
We're looking for a quarterback to cement themselves. We're looking for a number one wide receiver, and Jalen Johnson, we believe, is that guy. He could cement it today. Was week 2 Old Dominion last year? That was his biggest game of the year. Either way, it was at home early in the season when he had his breakout game. I'm going to go with Rajay, and I don't know what running back is going to get the most carries or yards or touches today, but it feels like a Rajay touchdown day. Jason, who you got?
I'm going to go outside the box. I thought Mark C was going to go outside the box. I'm going to go outside.
You going way outside.
Andrew Conrad.
Way outside.
I like
I'm going
it.
with the kicker.
I like it.
I like it too.
Put some points on the board, 3 per field goal, and maybe you get some points that way. All right, Shirley.
Okay. You want to talk about going outside the box?
Lord,
I'm going to go way outside the box because I'm going to go on the defensive side of the ball. Give me Tegan Wilk.
Okay, so I didn't even mention this to you guys. You get a point per tackle, 2 for an interception, 2 for a forced fumble, recovered fumble. So he could rack up some tackles.
It looks like Jason would have made a different pick.
We got Jason thinking now. All right. Are you going to go punter?
No.
I don't think we can get any more outside the box than we've already gotten.
I'm going to go with the long snapper. No, I'm kidding.
How you going to score that one?
No.
Chandler like you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet. No, I'm going to back the young gun and Javius Bond.
Okay. All right. Javius Bond. We're looking for a breakout. Could it be him? Thank you all for tuning in. Be a part of the show today. Thanks to Warren's Hot Dogs for the awesome pregame food. And great job here, Shirley Rhodes. Joey, good work, buddy. Marcus, Jason, enjoyed talking to you fellas. We'll be with you after the game on the U.S. Sailor 5th quarter call-in show. Call in with your thoughts immediately following ECU Marshall. For the crew here, I am Clip Brock. Go Pirates.
Go Pirates.
You've been listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate, powered by Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates. Stay tuned and join us after the game for a complete recap and your phone calls on the U.S. Cellular 5th quarter call-in show, right here on Pirate Radio.